everybody. Welcome to 4Player Podcast.
Woo!
This is episode 425.
Oh my god.
Officially, kind of.
And hopefully
we
a lot
did-
of the
What happened to
listen-
424?
That was the last one we did before PAX, right?
I thought that was 423.
Did I make that up?
Well, we did 3 podcasts.
Oh shit!
about
It's even on the screen.
Yeah.
Are you sure about that, Chris Davis? All right, 424. Whatever. I mean, at some point, who really cares what episode it is, right? Right.
Yeah.
Anyways,
That's true.
Just touch it.
I can't.
Yep, you're right. It is 424. It is September 4th, 2015. My name is Nick Henderson, and I am joined today by Brad Simons,
Yes, I am here.
Nolan Hedstrom,
Hi, everybody.
and Krispy.
Hey. Hey.
Or,
Hey guys.
What's up?
nothing. Never mind.
Okay.
Never mind. Sorry.
What are
Awkward
awesome
pause.
nicknames that you didn't
Yeah, I
get
just
one?
realized. I thought that was something Chris Davis came up with, but
No.
it was something someone in the chat came up with, so I can't read them
We all
anymore.
had
They're off
cool
the screen. Anyways, we're going to talk about a lot of video games today, because you know what, guys? There's a lot of shit coming out all of a sudden. It's like the floodgates have opened, and there is suddenly a ton of new stuff to talk about. We're all going to talk about, of course, we'll talk about Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain. Because
Oh, people have been playing that?
We'll try to.
people have been playing that. We're going to keep it as spoiler-free as humanly possible, but
Outside of the prologue.
outside of the prologue, we're going to spoil the shit out of the prologue, and then we'll talk about mechanics and shit. So that'll be fun. And of course, we've all been playing. We've all been playing Lara Croft Go, right?
Yes.
To a degree.
Well, I just started, but yeah.
Yeah, I just started too, but I know Nolan and Brad have both finished it.
Mm-hmm.
And a little Until Dawn,
Sure.
maybe.
I finished that too.
Maybe it.
Sure.
Damn it, Brad!
Well, you
Finishing all
you
the
were out of
games.
state for
I
like
was out of-
5 days.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah,
That
that's
is-
your
Brad
bad.
played
I
a
was
few
so
games.
mad. I was so mad. I didn't realize Lara Croft Go came out the night before I left, the day before I left for PAX, and my tablet was not charged at all, and I realized it the morning of.
That sucks.
And I was like, "There's not even a point in me bringing the tablet because I'm not gonna be able to charge it before I get on the plane. It would have been perfect, the perfect airplane game.
It's true, man.
And I didn't have it, so that
And
sucks.
wait, we got more games.
Satellite Rain? Did I make that up? Okay,
I'm gonna convince everyone to play Satellite Rain on
Dude, Brad, so
tonight's
I've
podcast.
watched you play
Hold on, we will talk about it, Nolan.
Okay.
Also, Mad Max.
I could briefly mention Mad Max. Yeah.
We will
I haven't
mention it.
played a lot of it because, Metal Gear Solid, but I already have some thoughts.
I would also like to point out, so we were in Seattle this past weekend, myself and Krispy and Chris Davis and Ed, and we had a little tiny community shindig because there's not a lot of community members there, but Blue Jay, who was there, who was in attendance, gave me some money and told me to buy some tasty snacks for the show, and I bought this really good beef jerky from Pike's Place Market.
I'll be the judge of that.
Well, there's two kinds. So just pass it around.
These are
Don't chew it into the microphone. That's all I ask. And thank you, Blue Jay. That was very kind of you. So there's like teriyaki something and red pepper. The red pepper has got a kick to it. Anyways, pass it on and let's start talking about the video games.
That's a big
Well, is there
piece.
anything you want to catch up on before we get into the video games?
Yeah.
Nice
okay.
Blue Jay.
I feel like it's been over a week since we've done this.
You
So-
might see anything good? I
Like-
finally watched the Lost World Park. What is it called?
Oh, Jurassic World.
Jurassic World.
What
How'd you like that final fight at the
I
end?
saw it on like an IMAX screen. Have y'all been to that Evo place? They have like an enhanced experience screen. And I was like, what does that mean? Does that just mean IMAX? But usually if you go to IMAX with these theaters, it's not like the giant screen. This one had a giant screen.
Uh-huh.
Which I guess was
Like
a good
the
way
full,
to see.
like 72 feet experience.
It was huge.
That's what she
Jurassic
said.
World was kind of dumb.
Yeah,
It was kind of dumb.
it was kind of really dumb.
Did you like that they kept the T-Rex right next to the visitor center?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah,
It's like right next door.
We can't get
Very
into how
close
much stuff
proximity.
in that movie makes zero sense.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But whatever.
yeah.
I also started watching Mr. Robot again because it's like a
I have never heard of that show, and then all of a sudden I start playing Until Dawn, and then there's a news story about them canceling the final or postponing the final episode because of that shooting. And I was like, I've never even heard of the show.
because the Until Dawn guy, Josh, is the main character of
Mr.
Mr.
Yeah,
Robot.
I picked up on that much. It just seemed very odd that it was
The reason I'm watching
What
it though
network is even-
is because
is
it's
it
on?
basically
NBC.
like a not futuristic version of Satellite Rain,
What a nerd.
How do you do
and
that?
they have very similar music. So yeah.
Hey!
Hey, Slayer Skill Gaming just
Hey!
subscribed.
Woo!
thanks for subscribing. I don't have my harmonica. I had it when I was doing my 24-hour cast.
I'm gonna blow into this piece of beef jerky. Woo, that didn't work.
That's more of a harmonica than a kazoo than a harmonica.
Yeah.
Harmonica.
Yeah.
Thanks, Blue Jay. Indirectly.
This is actually really good.
It's not his Monica, it's her Monica.
Anyways, we can
Our America.
maybe for the sake of the podcast, let's not eat too much of it, and we can have more during the break or something. But anyways, thank you.
Yes, Blue Jay,
Blue
we
Jay.
appreciate it. This
Great.
is tasty.
We had some of the best ice cream I've ever had in my life. Oh, I mean,
Yeah, that was really
that
good.
was
What
really
that
fucking
place
good ice
called?
cream. Oh god,
It was right next to a park where people were playing a very violent game of strip dodgeball.
I remember. So we asked Joseph
Jesus.
to point us in the direction of a good ice cream place.
Or they say point us in the direction of a good strip dodgeball place.
No, but he told us where to find a good ice cream place, and he's like, yeah, it's right. You go up the 3 blocks around the corner, and there's a place right there. But like, don't cross the street. You'll get punched.
A lot of people have been getting. He's like, a lot of people have been getting beat up in that park lately, and we get over there, and it's like raining, and there's a bunch of people on a tennis court playing strip dodgeball, and they're all really intimidating.
So we just sat on the.
It's like
opposite-
if you enter this park, you are playing.
Hey, guys.
yeah.
How was Joseph doing?
good.
Dude, good, and he looks really good too.
What? Jesus
He
Christ.
lost like 40 pounds or something. Like he's, yeah,
You're looking good.
he looked awesome.
Okay, that's
And-
awkward.
It was nice catching up with my husband.
I'm glad Joseph is really sexually appealing now.
More so.
More sexually
more than
appealing
Hey,
than
Joseph's
before.
always been sexually appealing, just maybe more so
Thanks
this time.
for the update on his muscles. It's okay.
Very Ripley.
Okay. Did anybody else say anything besides the sexy man?
Oh god, what about?
In Seattle?
I didn't say anything in Seattle.
Oh,
I did in the airport on the way when I was waiting for my flight. Sat behind a dude who was watching. What's that movie with Hugh Jackman called?
There's a lot of them.
Wolverine.
No.
Movie for
Prisoners.
X-Men 2.
Prisoners.
I
What the
couldn't.
fuck
I
is
couldn't-
that?
Prisoners.
Right?
I've seen that.
It is good. It's a good movie, but I sat behind him and watched him watch that for like 10 minutes.
That's not awkward at all.
I mean, I couldn't hear it.
Excuse me, can you hand me an earbud?
But I remember being like, I remember that part. Oh,
Can you
yeah.
turn on subtitles?
That's what's happening right here. But that was about the extent of it.
Nice.
No, I haven't watched anything new. Hannibal ended. I'm sad.
Oh.
Fucking NBC.
I ended up rewatching the Thing because I hadn't seen it in a long time. And
That's a great
It's a
movie.
pretty good. Yeah, it's a really good movie. And
Remember
then,
that episode of the X Files that completely ripped it off?
Also, Wes
No.
Craven died, not John
yeah, that,
Carpenter.
Oh,
that is true.
yeah, that's right.
very unfortunate.
Rest in peace, Wes Craven. That was sad.
And so, like, for some reason, after I watched The Thing, I was like, I kind of want to watch They Live. And I didn't realize that Keith David was in both of those movies. And I was like, what has Keith David been in recently?
Community?
And yeah, I looked it up, and yeah, like he's been doing a lot of TV, but not a whole lot lately.
That's right.
And I was like, man, Keith David was big in the 80s.
Yeah.
Like,
He was,
So
everywhere.
He didn't want to put on the
He was
glasses.
in Roadhouse. He was one of the
yeah,
bartenders in
that's right. He was
Roadhouse.
in Roadhouse.
Keith, that's why everyone loves Keith David.
Yeah.
Because he's the best man
Yeah.
of the world.
Yeah, he's
Well, I watched an actual Wes Craven movie. I watched Nightmare on Elm Street 3, The Dream Warriors, because Malia has never seen it.
I've also never seen it.
Really? That's when Nightmare on Elm Street started to get cool.
I think
that's when all the teenagers started having powers in their dreams. So, I mean, the first one's a horror classic. The second one is stupid, don't even watch it. And then 3 is when they start getting really campy and crazy.
So I've never seen a Nightmare on Elm Street
Really?
movie. I'm not in the fucking scary movies.
No, well, that's
horror
that's what I'm
movies.
trying to say is that Nightmare on Elm Street becomes like a campy, like cult series after, like with 3.
Mm-hmm.
It's Freddy goes and you don't fall asleep. It's basically all these kids. So Nightmare on Elm Street Dream Warriors starts with all these kids who are in like this like an institution because they have tried to kill themselves. But that's actually because these teenagers are being killed or almost killed by Freddy.
By Freddy, yeah.
So Nancy from the first movie like shows up and she's like, I know what's going on. This is what you're gonna do.
Dream Warriors assemble!
You have powers. We're gonna go into the dream and we're gonna fight Freddy because you all have powers.
You know,
and it's like the fucking nerdy dude who's like in a wheelchair. He becomes like a wizard in his dreams and like shooting magic and stuff. And
That
it's crazy.
movie series kind of followed the same trajectory as Friday the 13th because the first one has a very different tone than the
I have
other
a
one.
question.
But Friday the 13th gets really bad. Nightmare on Elm Street gets cool.
Where did Freddy get his powers?
Do you
He was
want to
burned.
know?
He was
He was burned alive, and
Yeah, I know that, but where did he get his powers?
well, it's partly from his mom and partly from like the horrible shit, or from his parents, and partly from the horrible shit that happened to him. It's like a curse, kind of.
It's a horror movie, Crispy.
Yeah.
So
There's not like a real word
So
explanation.
he was
as to
just
why.
so angry when he died that he just got powers.
He was a child murderer.
He was
who
like,
got
yeah.
burned alive,
Yeah.
but it was his parents.
His mom was a sorceress or something.
No. His mom was. Oh, God, I forgot.
If he
Well,
had said
it doesn't
yes,
matter.
If he had said yes, you would have been like, "Where'd she get her powers?" And then we would just would have
Well,
kept going.
no. If you say someone's a sorceress or a wizard, I can say okay, cool, fine.
That is
Like
very
you don't
strange.
need to. You don't need to tell me where like Yennefer got her magic powers
When,
from. You know?
when Freddy
Like,
was a kid,
We know
he was evil, so they cut off his scrotum and they dried it and they used it as a bookmark in the Necronomicon. So when he died, he had powers.
Thank you.
Where did the necro?
Was that so
And if
hard?
you're
that
touching-
took like 2 seconds.
If you're touching Freddy when you wake up, you bring him into the real world,
oh,
and there you can actually kill him.
Like touching, like in
that
a bad
makes
way.
sense.
Actually, no one kills Freddy.
Like bad touching.
Who won in
Anyways.
Freddy vs. Jason? I never watched it.
I did.
Nobody, not even you watching the movie
No.
won. It was terrible.
I didn't watch it, so I knew it.
That's one of the 2 movies in my I went and saw the new Godzilla movie by myself too. It's one of the 3 movies in my life that I went to the movie theater by myself to watch.
Nice.
There's only like 3 movies.
Wait, have you at least seen Wes Craven's New Nightmare?
No.
That was the final Nightmare on Elm Street movie where it was actually in the
Them
real
making
world.
a movie about Nightmare.
They were making the next Nightmare on Elm Street movie, but Freddy comes into the real world. So there's like Freddy, but like Robert Englund is a
He's
character
in
in
the
the
movie.
movie. And like Nancy is in the movie, the
That
actress.
sounds like
of
that
Nancy.
really, really great episode of Supernatural.
I mean, maybe it was inspired
Don't
by this
remember that
movie.
one.
But I would say Wes Craven probably did it first.
Well, no shit, Sherlock.
Let's talk about
Scream
video
is still
games.
my favorite Wes Craven
It was super
series.
meta. It was crazy.
Scream is a good movie. I like Scream.
Scream 2, and Scream 4. Scream 3, not so great.
I've seen the first Scream and that's it.
You like Scream 4?
I like Scream 4.
I didn't like Scream.
Scream 3 was the one that
Wait, didn't
where it
Scream
kinda lost me.
start
Three
going
was
that
bad,
whole
too.
direction too? Where like they were making movies.
Yeah, they were
about-
making a movie about
They were
the
making
original.
Scream the movie,
But
then
Scream 1, I
was
think,
happening.
Scream 1 is a camp horror movie classic, in my opinion.
Dude,
That first one is fantastic.
Agreed.
Anyways,
Video games.
video games,
They've been waiting
they've been waiting.
to hear about satellite ray. No, well,
Do you want to go ahead and
no,
talk about...
no. Let's just talk about fucking Metal Gear.
I'm up for talking about satellite range.
Shut the fuck
I don't know what Satellite Rain is.
Fuck
I wanna
all of
know.
you.
Well, Chris
I
Davis...
want to know.
He already put up the Metal Gear banner. There's no
Okay.
switching.
We're talking about. We're talking about.
There's no take backsies.
There is no take backsies. We are officially talking about Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain.
It's okay.
Can I start? Can I start? Can I talk about that prologue for a second?
Can I
Sure.
just say something?
Can I just get this out? Can I just get this off my chest?
What's up?
That prologue
Dude,
was a little
intense.
Out there.
Well,
Crazy.
yes, intense.
You didn't like it?
I
do
did
you
not
think?
like it very much.
Can I set it up even better?
Not that I didn't like the gameplay, because I thought like the way they wove the gameplay in and out of it was really cool. Like that sequence was.
I
really
thought it
intense.
was pretty.
we're talking about.
I thought it was pretty dumb.
Brad, are you wearing green again?
It was.
I thought
way,
it was pretty dumb that Ishmael walked past that wheelchair like 4 times,
Ishmael? What are we
and you
talking
just
about?
get in the fucking wheelchair. And you're crawling around, and Ishmael's like, "Come on, and then you just pass by this wheelchair, and it's like, "Hey, can I just get in that and you wheel me?"
Can you push me?
At the
things a whole
beginning
lot
of the
easier.
week, I was like, girlfriend.
Do you know why that didn't happen?
Malia. This Metal Gear game's coming out. I'm gonna buy it. She's like, well, you don't buy a lot of video games. Yeah, but this is Metal Gear. She's like, what, you like that? And I'm like, listen, Metal Gear Solid is a series I love, so I had to explain that to her. And then a couple of days later, or no, it was Monday, I sat down and played through like about an hour of the original Metal Gear Solid 1 while she was watching. And I was like, this is Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah.
She was like, okay, that's interesting. And I was like, when Metal Gear Solid 5 comes out, we're going to sit down. You're going to watch me play through the prologue. She watched me play through the prologue. I had no idea what the fuck was going on. I kept looking over to her, and she was giving me the weirdest fucking looks. Because she was like,
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna
you
say-
love this shit? This is weird as shit. And I kept, she was like, well, he's probably dreaming, right? He's still in the hospital bed? And I just looked at her, and I went, yeah, probably. Knowing that probably not
Yeah.
was the real answer, but I didn't have the heart to tell her.
All right.
Dude,
Don't take
don't
my
know.
initial negativity about the prologue get you because I am really enjoying the game.
No,
For the
no,
very
no.
small
Nick,
little
you're
that
not
I
wrong.
played.
I think it sucked too. I mean,
I'm just-
it wasn't
I'm-
fun to play.
I'm just saying, if you play the original Metal Gear Solid, which I adore, and then you immediately go play the prologue Metal Gear Solid
Yeah.
5, there
It's
is a
very
shift in
different.
tone.
Yes.
A little bit.
There is
Not
a
even tone. And what Metal Gear Solid starts, it's all gameplay.
Like the thing is, like Metal Gear Solid, the original Metal Gear Solid had some moments where it's kind of crazy, right?
I don't, let me just say, I don't know why I chose to do the mission I recorded at night. Like, you can't see anything.
That's all right. That'll make spoilers less obvious.
Yeah.
But like the original Metal Gear Solid had a lot of moments which were kind of crazy, right? Some like supernatural moments, right?
Yeah, there were some.
But for the most part,
Well, I mean,
that
Metal
was
Gear Solid had
Psycho Mantis.
Psycho Mantis,
Psycho Mantis, but, like,
which was
that's
pretty
not-
trippy, and
But that's not that crazy.
and
That's
so
not,
that was I was like, was that Psycho Mantis in the
floating
that's
man.
not
man.
that's not dude walking around on fire, getting shot and run over by tanks.
At least the dude on fire wasn't floating, although there was the Psycho
Mantis dude.
Lady Mantis, or I think that's I don't know. It
Anyway.
was
In the
weird.
prologue?
It was very long,
It kind of
and it's not really indicative of the Metal Gear Solid 5 experience.
that's the weirdest thing. It is.
Yeah, it's a little out there.
It is by far. Like, it seems to me like it's gonna really stand apart from the rest of the game
man.
as like.
Well, so the thing is, and the doctor says it, is he's all like, yeah, you got this thing in your brain, and it's pushing on it, so you might see hallucinations.
See,
He
that-
does say that.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good, and
That's
I
like
hope that. And you know what? Maybe we should. I don't know.
What?
Should I not look at chat?
I definitely don't mind that it was weird. I just don't think it was kind of long and a little tedious to play. Is all.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really
You,
stressful.
you didn't like the flying Pegasus unicorn thing?
when he-
Well, I saw that. That was from the original Phantom Pain before they revealed that it was Metal Gear
Same
Solid.
with the whale, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was from the initial teaser trailer.
Space
or
whale.
whatever.
Dude, I
Space
don't know,
Space
man.
Whale.
I was so like into it. I was like sitting in my room, like inches away from my television
should
with
really
a
pull
headset
back.
on,
Yeah.
all my lights off, and like I was into it, man. I was really like enthralled by what was going on, to the point where like the scene where the doctor's coming in and he's like putting up those fucking X-rays.
Yeah.
Like every time he put a new one up, like I was getting more and more just like uncomfortable. I
Well,
was
see,
like,
the thing is,
"Ugh." Like when he
that's
puts the one up with his arm missing, I was
Yeah.
just like, "Ugh." Like that was like real like body horror shit for me. Like that was, I was getting all fucking freaked
But
out
like
playing
that is like that at that point in the prologue, like
Everything was
shit had-
normal at that
like
point.
that was where I was still like,
Yeah.
this is really cool.
Yeah.
And it all suddenly, just real quickly, shit hits the fan.
It
and not
does.
that it wasn't interesting, because I was also on the edge of my seat and really enjoying like the feeling of going through it. It wasn't
You
until
didn't-
after it was all over.
You
and
didn't
it-
like when Ishmael just set that bitch on fire? And then she would just come at him on fire. Like it didn't even slow her down.
Yeah.
See, like it was just it wasn't until after I had finished the prologue that I looked back on it and was like,
What the fuck just happened?
that was really weird, and I don't know if I liked it.
The weirdest part is you can't play dead.
Oh, yeah.
And the part where they tell you to play dead, even though you could play dead in Metal Gear Solid 4, and I was like, wait, how do I play dead? How do I play dead? And I stood up and I got shot and I died.
That's how you play dead.
you hold triangle.
Oh, you can't.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I
Well, it
didn't know
doesn't tell
that.
you that.
I don't know if it's
It
playing.
doesn't tell you.
It did mention. There's
I
like a
ju- I just
pop-up
laid on
that
the ground.
says, like, press this button and he goes all, like, limp.
Oh, cool.
But anyway, so the one reason I think it might be like hallucination kind of type thing, it's just because that fire dude looked exactly like Vulcan. Yeah. Like down to a T.
I
Like
mean-
the fucking outfit was the same. The,
Yeah.
the
No,
bullets all over.
That
his
was what
body.
originally gave away the
That it was,
Phantom
yeah,
Pain.
yeah, that it looked exactly like his outfit was the same as Vulcan, except for then when you get up close and you realize those are fucking like bullets like sticking out of his like
But,
body.
but
and
Vulcan
shit.
kind of did that too. A
Yeah,
little
he
bit.
did
it
like
was that,
fire
and in the
bullets,
original
yeah.
trailer, you could catch a glimpse of Psycho Mantis as well.
The thing is,
Yeah. Well,
Oh, this
there-
person who looks
Mantis
like
girl.
Yeah, this mantis. Is it a girl? It could be a skinny guy. Psycho Mantis was
The
a really
hair is
fucking
pretty girl.
It's
So?
a little kid.
It's long
like, it's a
hair.
little kid with long hair.
Yeah, I think I honestly, for some reason, I think that's Psycho Mantis. Because how many characters have we seen like that before?
Dude, it would make sense because this is like early '80s, and the first Metal Gear Solid takes place in like late '90s.
There was
or
a
something,
Mantis
or early
character
2000s.
in Metal Gear Solid 4 that
But that's
wasn't
different. That wasn't. That was
That was way
Psycho
after all of
Octopus.
this.
Psycho.
Yeah.
it was one of the what were they called?
Psycho Octopus.
What were they called in the
Beauties of the
B&B
Beast.
course.
Yeah, the B&B.
Oh my god, that game was dope. But in a good way. Let's talk about Metal Gear 5.
So hold on. So the intro was really the whole like you and Ishmael like the prologue trying to like escape these guys who were I guess there for you was what they were saying. And did you I guess it was teaching you to creep and stuff, and like there's that weird going back and forth between you and like Ishmael's views and stuff, like when you see each other under like the beds and stuff.
That was a cool moment.
I did like that. The trippy shit aside, I really liked the that whole escape sequence, the whole like you finding out your arm's missing and you freak out. But then it just brings up more questions as like who the fuck this Ishmael guy is.
Don't get me wrong, I'm sure there will be some kind of. They'll probably double back and revisit this.
Oh no, they definitely
something
will.
make more sense, and I'll appreciate it more. It was just
Nanomachines.
The whole sequence at the beginning to me, when I look back on it, just felt like it was some big Michael Bay action movie that had issues with pacing, because it starts out really well paced and really really methodical in how it's telling its story, and then all of a sudden it ramps up really fast, like really far, really fast, and it never lets go. And like,
Wait, which one are you talking about?
the whole prologue sequence, like it goes from that very, like you're in the bed, you're seeing all the X-rays, you're
Check
talking
out the
to you.
sweet ass score I got on this mission.
I can't see the sweet ass score. From
That's it
it's
right
so-
there.
I
it
can't read
that?
that.
Damn.
171, or I can't see how many. Never mind.
Yes.
Anyways,
Is that good?
let's move past the
Butterfly.
prologue.
You got a five.
Butterfly.
Let's move
5
past
out
the
of 10.
prologue and let's just talk about mechanics. How does the game play? How does it feel? How does the world structure? How
How is Metal Gear Solid 5?
is Metal Gear Solid 5? And how is it different? Because it's pretty different.
How is Peace Walker 2?
It's good. I'm like 32 hours in, maybe.
So Nolan, you did a 24-hour marathon.
I did.
Made it all 24
I think
hours?
I played. I think the game clock ended up being like 22 hours and 40 minutes or something because I took breaks for food and whatnot. But yeah, I didn't want to stop. I think around like the 5 a.m. mark, maybe
Who's
I
ready
got
for that
pretty
3 a.m.
tired.
weekend?
Yeah, no, definitely. Because I realized it wasn't like a 24-hour cast. Like I was awake for 24 hours. I got up at 7:30 in the morning and I didn't go to sleep until 11 p.m. the next day. So it was more like it was way more than 24 hours. Because I got up to go to work. And so I
yeah.
I had a full day of work and then I played for 24 hours.
That's,
That's how kind of when I did GTA 5. It was
Yeah,
like that.
but no, I loved it. I'm still loving it. Like I like today. It's a long weekend, and my manager was like, "Hey, how about y'all go home early?" And I was like, "Yeah, sweet." And I went home and I fucking played Metal Gear.
Yep.
And it's I fucking love it. I can't get enough of it.
So this is obviously the biggest departure here. The obvious one is that it's open world,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which is very, very different.
So I wouldn't say the biggest part that is that it's open world. I'd say the biggest part is like you're not in enclosed spaces.
yes,
You know what I'm saying? You know, most Metal Gears beforehand, you're in buildings, you're in hallways, you're like this is not that at all. You're there are buildings, but you're very much just out in the open, out in the world, as
Yeah.
opposed to you used to just kind of be in enclosed. And so you'd like having like a box in the middle of a hallway in a building's kind of normal. I mean, so boxes are still in this game. You can get like different like camoed boxes and stuff to blend in and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And I mean, a box next to a building isn't a big deal. But I mean, it's just it's so much different from what the games before it in the series were.
So, what okay, this is a dumb question, but
Okay.
it's also kind of a serious question. Because Metal Gear Solid 1 through 4 had a very, like, they've all been a little different in their own, you know, in terms of how they tell their story or whatever, but, like, what was it about this game that made them want to go from what they've been doing for years to suddenly making this vast open, like...
It's just, I think honestly, it's probably just technology. The fact that they can do it much more easily.
But it has much bigger implications on, like, the way the game plays.
No, but remember, like this game is an evolution of Peace Walker. I mean, this game is kind of just like, hey, all those little small areas in Peace Walker, what if we don't have to do that because it's PS4? What if we just attach them to a big world?
Yeah.
I mean, that's essentially what it is.
It's Peace Walker, Nick, because you didn't play it.
I mean,
What?
I played it.
You
I played it.
You,
I
but
never
since it's
finished
been a long time since you played it, you didn't finish it. It was literally Mother Base was a hub world, and you'd go off and do missions. Like the exact same setup this is.
Yeah.
It's like you have your core of guys, and you split them into your combat and your medical and your R&D. It's the exact same thing. You can send them off to do missions. You Fulton things to go back to Mother Base to increase. I mean, it's it's Peace Walker 2.0.
Yeah.
Or way more than 2.0. But yeah, I think since the technology allowed them to do so much more. Yeah, just big open worlds and whatnot.
How many Fultons can you carry at a time?
I'm up to 24.
Oh shit! But you can always.
There's the fear.
But you can always
fuck yourself, Brad.
request a supply drop.
You can request a
anytime
supply
and get
drop
more.
that will drop more.
So you've altered
but
everything.
it does cost more money. I think it's like it depends on the. Here's something that it wasn't like that in Peace Walker. So in Peace Walker you had GMP. It was your money. You would spend it to research something. As soon as that research was done, that GMP went back in your pool of money. This isn't like that. This, when you spend GMP, it's just gone. When you have to earn more.
Okay.
And so whenever you go out, like whenever you have the screen and it's you and your buddy and your equipment loadout, like it shows you on the bottom left how much this is going to cost you to go out into the field. And so the more items you bring with you, the more it costs. If you bring a level 1 item versus a level 3 item, it will cost you more money. And so while it's not huge amounts of money, it's like maybe like 20,000, depending on what you bring with you, it can get much higher. And you end up, like you saw that one mission, I ended up with like 170,000 GMP. But it also comes down to the like things cost a lot of money. Like there was one weapon the other day I was looking at, it was like 750,000 GMP.
Yeah.
And so I mean those if you're constantly deploying and spending all this money and calling in reinforcements and stuff, those numbers do add up. And so differently from Peace Walker, this you have your individual like struts in your Mother Base, you have your combat and whatever, and you level those up. And that costs money, but it also costs resources. And that's a new thing they added is these resources of like metal and fuel and, diamonds and precious metal and common metal and biomaterial and all that shit. That's something they added. And I actually really like that mechanic because I find myself like searching those out. And I'm like, oh, yes, I need more. And I find myself looking for them because I know that, to level up my combat, like that thing, that's what I was talking about. That yellow thing you see that guy standing next to?
Yeah.
That thing. When you find those in the world, make sure to fucking pick off the little invoice on them. Because I played this game for like 30 hours not realizing that was a thing, and I wish I would have known.
You and Metal Gear Solid games, man.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't know about Ripper mode and Revengeance. But no, because later on, when you start doing like a lot of side ops, if you're in, so say you're in the world and you finish a side op and you want to do another one and it's on the exact opposite side of the world, you either have to drive there, ride, D-horse, or run. And there's a lot of running in this game. Yeah, D-horse.
Yeah, no.
And so if I would have known about that, all of the major like town, like big like areas, not outposts, have one of those at them. Gotcha. And so you can go to that, fast travel to the other one, and you're there. I didn't realize that.
So speaking of the world, we're talking about having to traverse. The world is quite large. I take it. I full disclosure, I've only played like 2.5, 3 hours of this game, so I've only had a little bit of opportunity to kind of explore just that first few areas that you get to. I did the first chapter.
Yeah.
The world, as I understand it, is quite large.
It is.
Is there anything? Do you find anything in that world other than outposts to take over?
Not.
I mean, it does make sense that would be most of what you find, anyways, because it is supposed to take place in a war zone.
Well, like, what do you mean?
No,
Like,
so you find there's some villages. There's actually some pretty cool set pieces.
Yeah.
But to an extent, yeah, it's either like an outpost, like a small outpost, or like a village type thing with a lot of. But
Yeah,
it's
not, I'm just saying, like, if you see like a structure out in the world, is it guaranteed to be populated
Like
with?
have enemies?
Yeah, is it just a place? Do you know
so
that's where you're gonna find
from what I
enemies?
found, I haven't found any like I guess like maybe like peaceful places or something. But yeah, like you said, it is a war zone. It's not you're not there on vacation. See, look, I fucking walk over it, or maybe this is me picking it up. Yeah, this is when I first learned about
okay,
them.
now I know. Now
Yeah.
I know. Snag those.
So I just fucking, I think that might be the second one I ever got.
Snag those invoices.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, no, and that's something that I think like I said, I haven't finished the game. That could still show up, but I don't think it will.
Okay.
Like it'd be cool to just like find people who don't want to attack you.
This might be some random Metal Gear trivia, but does anybody remember what you get if you beat the original Metal Gear Solid and let Meryl die? The item you get on your New Game Plus playthrough or your next playthrough?
No, I don't remember.
The stealth suit!
I hate you so much, Brad.
Did you plan for this?
No, but I noticed. You get the stealth suit. If she lives, you get the bandana, which gives you infinite ammo. Sorry. Go ahead, Noel.
You just
Okay.
ruined
Stealth
this.
suit has
You
lines.
just ruined this audio
Yeah,
podcast.
your stealth suit isn't that good.
Whatever, it's got lines on it.
God damn it. So, for those listening at home, Brad just ripped his shirt off wearing a green shirt underneath, so now he is blending in with our green screen. It's just a floating head and some stripes.
Alright.
Anyways,
The Phantom Pig!
there goes his arms. This is getting ridiculous.
Okay, sorry. Continue.
Here you go, bud.
I hate you, Brad.
So, come on, guys, Metal Gear.
Yeah.
What can we talk about?
Oh,
Metal
no,
Gear.
no. So without spoiling it, Mother Base.
Oh yeah, I haven't even.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's a little. It's not too long, but yeah, you play a little bit before you get there. But I would say it's one of those. So, this is one of those games where you have the main story and you have all these side quests, and you get shit for doing the side quests, but you don't unlock shit until you do certain things in the main story.
Yeah.
So I would say play pretty deep into the main story, just to unlock stuff.
Yeah.
Because that makes exploration so much more fun.
Yeah. So I had a moment where I came across like a small checkpoint, and there was like 4 or 5 guards, and I was able to easily like dispatch like 2 or 3 of them.
Yeah.
But like there was another post I got to where I was having trouble. Like I just felt like I feel like I don't have enough. I'm not prepared to take out.
I think it's less about being prepared and more about learning how to use the world to your
But, like,
advantage and how
there
to.
were like 3 guards that like would not separate,
Headshot.
and they were.
but
But like they were all right next to each other. So like
your magazine, you always can bring magazines in, like empty clips.
So, but in the first mission, which is what I was playing at the time, they didn't give me any options to prepare before going in.
No, you always have that by
Yeah,
default. If you
there's-
press right on the D-pad, you'll have your items.
There's a bunch of
So
stuff.
is this,
they give
is this
you
an issue? Am I having an issue with just like the game missing the game's tutorials and they're not doing a good enough
So,
job of
maybe-
pointing things out?
Maybe.
Because-
So if I think the tutorials were a little bit more to the point in Ground Zeroes, and maybe the tutorials weren't as in depth in this one because, Ground Zeroes is like the prequel to this. Maybe I don't know. I mean, because I recently played Ground Zeroes, so I went in with controls down. Like I
Yeah.
knew exactly what I was doing when I jumped into this world.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you have, you always can bring magazines. It doesn't cost you anything to bring them. You can throw them to make noise. You can clack your hand.
Clack? Your
Yeah,
hand?
so if you hold R1 and you press up,
that?
yeah.
Pretty much.
You press up on the right analog stick and he'll make a noise with his hand. You remember how you would knock on walls?
Yeah.
It's
Okay,
like that.
Which was cooler.
This
but
is
Yeah.
this is one of that's 2 things I didn't know you could do.
You're
The
welcome.
third one is I didn't realize you can't take out lights with the tranquilizer gun. 'Cause you could in Metal Gear Solid 2 and maybe 3.
all of them.
Maybe. Well, not like. Well, once again, Ground
Maybe not
Zeroes
one.
you couldn't with tranquilizers. Like,
Right, yeah.
So I
like
had
you
this
do.
moment of panic when I was like, "Oh my god, can you not shoot out lights in this game?" And then people on Twitter were like, "You can,
yeah, you have
can
to
with
use
a gun."
a real bullet. Yeah.
But like, it was never like that in the game. That's changed.
No.
I think it's a little more realistic. That
Whoa! What the hell just happened?
I don't know. That a tranquilizer dart maybe might not be able to pierce glass.
Yeah, it's just like I just feel like there's so many like little things that they probably should point out.
Maybe. And
Whatever.
so here it is, Nick. This is why, and this is what kind of got me. A prompt will pop up telling you to press left on the D-pad. I mean on the touchpad.
Yeah.
And when you do, it'll bring up tips and tricks.
I've been doing that. Maybe
Really?
I've just been missing something.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe just read through them. I don't know. Maybe
Whatever. I'll figure it out.
Here, Nick. This will help you.
No! You son of a bitch! You didn't do this. No!
What? What?
What? This is the official like collector's guide.
No. Oh, that came with your collector's edition.
No, it was separate.
It's like, no, I
This
was
is another $35.
No, I got it for $20.
Okay.
But anyway, don't spoil anything for yourself. Like
Yeah,
I've been very
careful,
I've been
buddy.
very careful
was
reading
thinking
this.
about-
Crispy
Buying.
opens the book. And, don't spoil it for
I
yourself.
was thinking about buying it. I just
Like
wanted to see
Crispy
if it was-
opens it and you see like a picture of like Snake dead with like his head ripped off.
I'm looking at the
No,
middle.
I wasn't ready for.
But so yeah, and so I think it's just
Crispy,
Nick.
what are
I think
you
you just need
doing?
to. Yeah, he.
Why are you
I don't-
looking at the back of that book? Man?
What is that? Oh my god! Concept art. It's concept
But you're gonna
art.
see concept
Crispy.
art of stuff from
Crispy,
late
you're-
in the game.
You're making me very uncomfortable. Please
What
close
do you-
that book.
Okay.
He's looking at stuff I've
I'm
been
leaving.
seeing.
I'm leaving. I can't handle this.
Crispy, please stop! Show them, not us. I've done that stuff before.
No, I've been very careful with this.
What
book.
is he doing? He doesn't care about Metal Gear.
I guess.
Stop it! They can see on the feed.
Crispy, how did
Shadow Moses?
Oh my fucking god! How did I don't know how Crispy so casually, nonchalantly, just gives no shits about.
And
I
then-
wanted to
and-
see
and
if
then-
it's worth the price.
And then PAX just blows up.
Yeah, pay
Paz.
$30 to have your game ruined.
Anyway, so Nick, yeah, I think you just need to like figure out the controls, the basics of how the game works.
I am enjoying the feeling of experimentation I'm getting with the game. Though.
And so yeah, no, there's definitely a lot of that. And I've been one to, if things go super fucky, I'll either run with it and just let it go, or I'll restart the mission.
yeah,
Just not because I like. I mean, it's like you don't get like super punished.
you know, actually, about that.
Okay.
I've been trying to play like as stealthy as possible, right?
Yeah.
And I'll get through a mission without killing anybody, and I'll get like a decent amount of points for it, you know. And then there was a story mission where I had to sneak into this like really heavily guarded position, and I had to find something and get out. And that mission went pear-shaped on me like really quickly.
Yeah.
And it got to the point where I killed more people in that mission than I have in the entire like other like 11 hours of the game that I'd played combined, you know. And I like had the helicopter coming in, and I was extracting on the helicopter with the fucking machine gun, just like mowing people down. I finished that mission and I got an S rank. It was the first S rank I got, and it was like the highest amount of points and the highest
Hold on.
heroic score that I'd ever gotten.
So one of the things I did read in the book was how scoring works. I was curious.
I don't get it.
So depending on the mission, you have like a score factor and it's like a multiplication factor. So time is a big factor in what score you get.
so you got through it quickly because you were killing everybody.
Yeah. So I mean, if you
I
get
mean,
through a
felt
mission
I felt like I was shooting people for a while.
like really fast, you'll get more. Every headshot gives you points. Every like any kind of like takedown of a guard gives you points.
I'm really
so
good at
the
headshots.
things you lose points for are alarms that go off. So if you only had one alarm that went off,
It was just a big.
then that's just one penalty.
It was just a big.
So
one.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
was just a really fucky one.
If an alarm goes off and you kill the guards and hide, and then you keep going and another alarm goes off, that's double the penalty of what you had.
S rank is based on speed. I felt like
It's not just speed.
I
It's
felt
not
like it
just
took
speed.
Forever.
but it's relative to the mission.
Like
you're
I was
doing.
like
You know,
in the
it is.
mountains, like shooting down on guys forever. Like they just kept coming, and I kept like murdering.
Like
them
if
all.
y'all had
Like-
watched, when the score from that first mission I did, while I did do it quickly, I got 20,000 points because I didn't leave any trace, is what it's called. So I didn't shoot my gun, and I didn't go into reflex mode. And I never like got caught or whatever. So I got an extra 20,000 points, and I got an extra 10,000 points for like something similar, like stealthy
Yeah.
wise.
Speaking of reflex mode, I really like that edition.
And so yeah, and so a lot of people. So that's one of the things I want to talk about.
I
Is
turned
a lot
it
of
off
people
so
didn't
people
like
wouldn't
it.
make fun of me.
Well, yeah. So a lot of people don't like it. They're like, oh, well, that's blah blah blah.
Well, those are just masochists
You know
who
what?
don't want to.
You know what though? Another reason why I turned mine off is because you do get a score penalty for triggering alarms, but you also get another score penalty if you go into reflex mode.
So you don't
So
get a
that-
score
I guess-
penalty.
I guess
you just
instead
don't
of-
get a bonus.
Oh, you don't get the
So
bonus.
hold-
but it's like a 10,000.
Yeah, that's what I was saying
Not
earlier.
whether you really care that much about your score.
Now hold on.
Kinda.
You can in that mission that I got 10,000 for not going to reflex mode.
Yeah.
I had reflex mode on. I just never went into it.
No, I know. I
You
turned
know
it
what I'm
off
saying?
though because I will trigger. I would
So
still trigger
the
alarms.
thing
like-
is, in this game, I think alarms. No, I don't want to say that. Like, so in like Metal Gear Solid 3, you could always shoot a guard's radio on their chest, and they couldn't call for backup. The alarm couldn't go off.
Yeah.
That was a great mechanic. You can't do that in this.
Why?
You can
Because they don't have any like radios they're wearing
That's
for you
wrong,
to shoot.
man.
You can blow up. There are like satellite dishes around though that you can blow up that will keep them from calling out for reinforcements.
Yeah,
though.
but they can still set off the alarm and like
They can
other
still
people
set
in
it.
there.
Yeah, I just remember like I have like really distinct memories of playing like Metal Gear Solid 2 and like using the trank gun even to just pinpoint the fucking radio on their chest. And
Shoot
just
him in the
see what-
radio, shoot him in the arm, shoot him in the leg, then just fuck with them. They can't do shit.
Exactly, man. That was so cool.
One thing that was fun in Peace Walker that you can't do in this is if you got a shot with a trank dart directly in a guard's butthole, they instantly passed out. No, I'm serious. Like if you shot them in their butt, like right in the middle, they'll
1,000
pass
years
out
of death.
instantly. This you have to hit them directly in the head or like a couple
That's
of
'cause
body
it's
shots.
quick to the bloodstream through the butthole.
That's true. That is a fact.
Animus.
Yeah.
This just got really uncomfortable.
Uh,
But the reason that I like the reflex mode is because it makes in my opinion, it makes the combat scenarios feel really dynamic because like there in previous Metal Gear games there'd be moments where I'd be spotted and I would legitimately feel like, oh fuck,
Yeah.
I'm gonna just restart the whole thing or reload my
Oh yeah,
checkpoint
I was
or whatever.
playing Metal Gear Solid 1 recently, and it's really easy to get.
caught and
Just
the
everything
alarms
to go
go
off.
But
off.
it's
Yeah.
cool that you have like a 2 or 3 second window to basically
save yourself.
prevent it from
Yeah.
turning around on you.
Yeah.
But
like, that's cool.
in this, I will say, once those alarm goes off, just run away.
Yeah.
Don't
It's a
you
lot-
just run and hide somewhere, and you'll be fine.
By nature of it being open world, it's a lot easier to just leave the area and then come back. So
Yeah.
I've fucked up pretty bad, and I have yet to feel like I should restart this mission.
Very
you know?
similar to the.
So
other game
I'm
I've
glad
been
that they figured out a way to make
See
scrubby
that
scrubs
headshot?
like me not.
So you know what
Not
this,
feel
you know
like
what
I had to
the
do
movement around
This-
the world and the combat kind of feels like to me. And this is
This is my favorite thing to do in the world.
oh god, that's pretty cool. That's the coolest. So you
gotta
can
get
fall-
off of
oh
it?
my god.
Oh, is that
Don't
just
have to
an
pay for a
extraction?
helicopter. You just fucking Fulton yourself out.
And you get a container full of supplies.
Yup. So that's one thing I will tell y'all. Work for the fucking Fulton. Like work to get that upgraded. Because once you can start Fultoning those big supply crates and vehicles, man, it's nice.
It's addictive.
No, God, yeah.
So-
Just
so-
run around
so-
looking for fucking crates to Fulton.
I think that's the big reason this one's really like. I don't think that the other Metal Gear Solid games outside of Peace Walker are like these really addictive games where you kind of obsess over these
God.
systems and try to, you get really into the meta game or the mother base game. And that's kind of interesting because I feel like this is a very well reviewed game.
Yeah.
But I think this is a great game for like reasons different from the previous Metal Gear games in a lot of ways.
Well,
And that's kind of interesting to me.
I don't mean to- I
Hideo Kojima made a very different game here.
Sure. I don't mean to draw too many. Like I don't want to sit here and draw comparisons to other games all day, but this game specifically so far has triggered two. Has basically made me think of two other games specifically. One of which is Far Cry, recent Far Cry games, because you do spend a lot of time mapping out outposts, picking your approach, and choosing your
Yeah.
how you're gonna take it out. And I like that. That's why I love Far Cry, the most recent Far Cry games. And also something about the way the character moves, or maybe the way the camera moves behind him. I'm not entirely sure, but it's really easy to move Snake around the field in this game, and it's easy to pull off, I think, trickier maneuvers combat-wise, especially because of the reflex
I
mode.
think the controls are really tight.
It
Yeah.
reminds me a little bit of Splinter Cell Blacklist.
I can see that. I can see where you're coming from with that.
Metal Gear's better than Splinter Cell.
I love both of those games to death, so that's good for me. But I don't want to sit here and compare to other games because it's
Is there like a mark and execute mechanic with like quiet later on? Can you
So
mark
this is something.
enemies and she'll just
This is something
like,
they
take them
have
out?
shown before, and so yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And so the thing is, that can get a little overpowered. Like
That's
I-
what they're saying in chat. That's what
yeah,
MGS2
so
was saying.
I currently have I've been rolling with Quiet, and you have to with all of your like buddies, you have to like earn their friendship, I guess. And once
Yeah.
you do, you'll start unlocking more stuff for them. Be it like commands you can give them and stuff like D-Dog. You can eventually I can tell him to kill someone.
Yeah,
But anyway, so quiet now.
doesn't he start with
Yeah,
that?
yeah. No.
Because I got him. Like,
You
the
can
first thing
have
I
him like
make-
attack someone, but he won't kill them.
Well, the first thing I made for like when I first got him,
Was the
I
battle
could
suit?
immediately make the sneaking suit that comes with a knife.
Okay, so yeah, that.
So now that he has a knife, he can just like. Why does a dog need a knife?
Wait, the dog stabs them?
I don't know. I don't know why. It just says he has a knife. Why does he need a knife?
Because Kojima.
Yeah, I like
don't
this
know.
mechanic though. I like the whole showering off and stuff. It does affect like
I saw somebody on Twitter like, guys, apparently I really stink and I don't know where to find a shower.
apparently if you don't shower enough, like you'll like your hand won't be as steady in the battle, like and stuff like that. So,
That
but
makes
Don't
no
they?
sense.
If
Yeah.
you let it go long enough, I heard that there's like a cutscene when you
Yeah.
go back to Mother Base where they like hold you down and
Yeah.
like scrub you clean.
That's hilarious. I've had a few moments. So I'm still early. I'm still kind of getting the feel for like how to move comfortably around a enemy occupied area, right? And there's been a few moments where I've come up behind guards and taken them hostage or whatever. And when I do that, like right now, I get this like instant feeling of like, oh god, someone's gonna see me.
Yeah.
And it gives you options. You can like interrogate them, you can choke them out, you can kill them, whatever. And like I keep thinking I should be fucking interrogating these people.
no, yeah,
But
definitely.
I freak the fuck out and I just kill them. I'm like, they're gonna see me!
I'm sorry.
And I just snap their neck or something.
So
blood
Nick,
everywhere.
interrogating them is super helpful for two reasons. One, it will point out like diamonds in
Yeah.
the world, which can be either 10,000 or 100,000 GMP, which is helpful. They'll point out processed materials, or they'll tell you where like other guards are.
yeah.
And so that can be super helpful. So one thing I will say is you don't have to grab them. You can just, if you point your gun at their back, they'll
Yeah,
like,
which is a-
they'll surrender.
It's been a long running Metal Gear mechanic, right?
Yeah, since 3,
The
I
whole
think.
lot?
Two.
I think you
Two?
do it in 2.
Yeah,
as well.
2 had it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
that's
can
right. That's
hold
right.
people
But in this one, you can say get down, and they'll lay down on the ground with their hands behind their head, and they'll never move until another guard comes up or
Wait,
an
even
alarm
if you
goes
take
off.
your gun off them?
If you tell them to get down, and they'll surrender until another guard comes up to them or an alarm goes off.
That's kind of weird.
Well,
I mean,
it's kind of like being knocked out or stunned, except alarms can also get them back into the fight.
Yeah, so that's the thing is stunning them doesn't last very long.
Yeah.
Knocking them out with a tranq lasts longer. Making them get down will last forever until someone gets them. Killing them, obviously, they won't get back up. But I've been going super no kills, and so that's one of the things that I've been trying to do is I'll hold up as many guards as I can, get information out of them. Once again, getting information out of them, that's more GMP. Every successful interrogation nets you money at the end of a mission.
Yeah.
Do you use any of these crazy boxes? Because I remember you get a bunch of crazy ass boxes in Peace Walker, and they always seem funny and cool.
So
but I
these
never
they actually work though.
Never actually used them.
Like they'll distract guards, and they'll like walk and be like, huh? Like if it's like a pretty lady and
But I
stuff
mean,
like
is that
that.
practical? I mean,
Yeah,
are
to
you,
an
are
extent.
you using it?
Yeah, sometimes it depends. If there's only like one guard, then yeah, why not?
Is it like Peace Walker though, where you have a limited a set of items that you can bring with you?
Yes. So
Yeah,
so
but you can change, like you can get supply drops to change that stuff
So-
out
yeah,
on a mission.
Okay.
but once again, you pay for it. It does cost
Yeah.
money to call it in to bring in new stuff. But
Does
yeah,
the
you can.
economy seem well balanced? Like, I mean, you're not drowning in cash, are you?
It depends. So at one point, I had $3 million. But all of the stuff I could research equals like 50 million.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
gotcha.
Like there's always money to be spent. Lately, I've been in like the less than 100,000 because I keep constantly like wanting things
Okay.
and like upgrading them. Like once again, since I'm going super no kill, I just got a shotgun that like shoots, I guess, like bean bags or something.
Yeah.
So it's a stunning shotgun. And I love that. But it was $800,000.
I just remember in Peace Walker, there was a lot of cool stuff to research, but it gets to a point where like the only real thing to upgrade are weapons
And
that
so-
you don't really want to use because you don't go guns
So
a-blazing.
that's the thing with Peace Walker is you always got your money back
yeah.
after researching something. So
research
you always had money. This you don't. So you're constantly trying to do missions to get money because you want to unlock something or to upgrade something. And similar to Peace Walker, it will show you like a tree of like, oh, if you get this, you can upgrade this. And so you'll like, oh, I do want that increased C4 charge or whatever. And like upgrading weapons will let you carry more of them into battle and stuff like that. And so yeah, it is worth it. Like one of the new weapons I got was I guess I won't say anything because it could potentially be spoiler, I guess.
Well, I mean, we'll find out. It's cool. There's
Yeah.
cool weapons and
No,
gadgets.
Don't worry, Nolan.
no,
We'll be talking about this for weeks. I'm
There's
sure.
definitely cool weapons and gadgets, and I've been having fun. And another thing is, eventually you get the ability to customize your weapons, which isn't a huge deal, but you can like change the color and add on like extended magazines and silencers and scopes, and so yeah, I really like that aspect. I like that that's just fun. Similar like Far Cry 4, and just change what it looks like. So when I like my sniper rifle on Snake is customized, so when he throws on his back, it looks different from like the default one and stuff like that.
Cool.
So this is me kind of running around Mother Base. It's huge.
Yeah.
You definitely need a car to get around it. This is, I think, there are, so you can see right there, a diamond, and you can interrogate your soldiers, and they'll be like, "I'm sorry, boss, I shouldn't have hid it from you," and they'll tell you the location of like a diamond.
That's terrible. Nice 4P logo.
Your
Oh yeah,
army.
did you see that? My Mother Base logo it's 4P in blue and yellow.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Your army, like all of your soldiers, have like huge man crushes on you.
Oh yeah, they all
They're
do.
like, "Hey, boss, train with me."
Yeah, and if you hold them up and you like squeeze them, they'll be like, "Boss, harder."
Remember that time I almost killed you out in the battlefield, and then I took you
And dude,
hostage?
the fucking bionic
Now
man
you work
punch
for me.
is amazing. Have you
mean
started
the
it?
$64 million
Yeah,
man?
$64 million man punch.
Steve
Oh my
Austin.
god! So have you? They do explain it at the very beginning.
I've done
You
that.
might have passed over it, but your arm, if you equip it as a weapon, when you're running, if you press the punch button, he'll like go into a slowdown. He'll do like a super punch,
Yeah.
and you can like knock out guards. You didn't see my highlight where I accidentally knocked out my horse?
No, I never know which. I'm trying to be careful.
Okay, that one highlight's definitely not spoilery.
Okay, well,
It's just me punching
Then
my
I shall
horse.
watch it.
All right.
All right.
Don't
well,
watch the Until Dawn highlight. Oh my god. I know we put spoiler in the title, but that is literally the very last part of the game, and it spoils the whole
Oh, really? I didn't watch it because it said spoiler.
The twist, you don't want to watch that clip if you've
All right,
not
well,
finished or you don't care.
Can
about
we
Until
take this
Dawn.
opportunity to really quickly talk about Until Dawn?
No. I think what we should do now is eat a calorie mate.
Yeah.
Snake's favorites.
Okay, we'll do it quickly.
All right. MGS2 Master 2 sent us some calorie mate. I ate it for Brad Appetit, but there's some left for everyone to try here.
I definitely want to try it.
This package was open.
Oh, God.
I'll eat it still.
But there's another one if y'all want a fresh one.
What is it?
It's calorie. It's
army food.
Yeah. It's
It is a biscuit.
Wait, just give him the box.
Yeah.
This is what fucking Snake
Oh,
would
just read the ingredients.
Snake would eat a Metal Gear Solid 3 and he's like, yes, give me more.
Yeah. That was his favorite thing.
Yeah, he loved it.
Oh, give me more.
And here, y'all can try the one that's not open.
Yeah.
And it's just basically
Calorie Mate is a nutritionally
Kinda looks
balanced
like
source of the
shortbread.
energy
It looks
needed
like a
for daily
shortbread
activities.
cookie.
Oh,
Just break off a piece and eat it.
Can I see the
I
box?
want to eat it. Yeah.
okay.
It's
It
like
does smell like a waffle.
yeah. It smells like a waffle.
Oh my god, it smells like a fucking waffle.
With like maple syrup.
It doesn't taste like one, but
You're welcome that it's
tastes alright.
maple. MGS was asking what he should order. He's like, should I order Brad cheese? No, I was like, order him the maple.
Calorie mate?
Yeah, there's cheese.
Guys, this smells delicious, but he already spoiled it. It's not going to taste like a waffle, so.
Just a little mapley. It's not gross.
Dude, I've had cookies that were worse than this.
Yeah,
Like British cookies.
the worst.
Yeah, not bad.
I could eat this. I want some more.
Laura's eating like 14 meals at once.
What?
No, I'm just kidding.
I was like, you know what? I can't read the ingredients in the back here, but I see lots of.
Wait, can you turn it over?
Did anyone?
No.
Can someone save a little bit for Chris? I forgot. Chris
I?
Davis.
Can I see the box?
Chris Davis, come in here real quick. Taste your calorie, mate.
Chris, come get a bite.
Calorie Mate Block. Calorie Mate Block is a nutritionally balanced source of the energy needed for daily activities. Calorie Mate Block is
broke it off.
naturally
I didn't bite
suited
it.
for people on the go who need an easy source of energy and nutrition at breakfast, work, sports, study, or any busy time. Classification: balanced nutrition food, solid type. Ingredients: wheat flour,
could read Chinese.
edible vegetable fats, sugar, egg, almond, butter, non-fat milk, soybean protein, wheat protein, orange peel, starch, cheese, salt, chocolate, maple sugar, soy sauce, sodium caseinate, starch modified, flavors. There's just flavors. Magnesium carbonate and emulsifiers.
Ooh.
Net weight 80 grams. Best before sea bottom panel.
You know,
16 to 12.
What?
Year, month, day.
Yeah.
All right.
That was pretty good.
But it doesn't actually say how many calories.
You want to talk about? I definitely got to talk about my game because
There's calories, mate.
I've had time to play Metal Gear Solid 5.
Chat
and
said
I've not
200 a
been
stick.
playing Metal Gear Solid 5.
So you don't want me to talk about Until Dawn?
That might be a good quick after the break.
Oh,
right?
you're the worst, Brad. Go ahead.
Well, I'm just saying, because this one, don't you want to know why this one has had my heart a little bit? I mean, I've been at work thinking about this game and not Metal Gear,
Fuck you.
and that's a little weird, right?
Yeah, that's
Aren't
that's
you
a
even
little.
a
that's
little
a,
bit?
That's a little commie-ish.
Aren't you even
You know,
a little?
I was at work today thinking about Until Dawn, not Metal Gear, so
Well,
whatever.
isn't Until Dawn's really cool, but we'll talk about that in a second. But aren't you a little bit curious as to why
All right,
I'm
Brad.
obsessed with Satellite Rain?
I'm a little curious. In fact, I asked you before the show, and you told me to shut up.
Yeah, well, I told you to shut up and wait. Here's the elevator pitch, and it sort of came to me, and I tweeted it out today. Have you played Deus Ex Human Revolution?
Yeah,
Kind of the
sure
setting, the atmosphere, the vibe, the music, the look.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's
Alright.
like if bees built a cyberpunk world.
Bees?
Minus
Yeah,
the
there's
bees.
a lot of like yellow and hexagons.
Satellite Rain is take Deus Ex Human Revolution, turn it into an RTS, an open world RTS where you can kind of go where you want, but instead of one Jensen, you have 4 distinct, like different Jensen builds. It's a class based. You have 4 units. They're all Adam Jensen.
I didn't ask for this.
And it's an open world RTS game where you can kind of go what you want. I would say
Let's talk about Until Dawn.
I would say that it is a spiritual successor to Syndicate Wars, but I know none of us here have played that.
So Brad, I've watched you play actually quite a bit of this. I've lurked in chat while you've played
Sure.
it.
No one's lurking.
My only problem
it's hard to
is it looks fun. There's just a lot of like talking and reading.
Talking and reading.
I'm not into that
No,
reading shit.
You're thinking of Shadowrun.
Maybe I am.
Shadowrun is all story. This game is all gameplay.
Wait, these are 2 different games?
Yes. Very different games. They're
look
both
the same.
cyberpunk games.
Okay.
But this one is
That might be why I got them confused.
Yeah, no, very different. There's like little to no story in this. This is like XCOM in terms of balance of story and gameplay. This is
okay.
all gameplay. This is
I
like
stand
I said,
corrected.
open world RTS Deus Ex game where you're controlling these 4 cybernetic enhanced dudes that you level up. They have equipment, they have gear, they have augments, they have skill trees. It is so fun to level these guys up and customize them because you want everything. Every skill sounds awesome, and every time you level up, you have to choose between a whole bunch of different skills, and that is the sign that you're doing something right.
Yeah.
And you have 4 classes. You have your soldier, you have your infiltrator, you have your hacker, and you have your support, and they all have very different abilities, both in and outside of battle. But you don't. And it's an open world, and the idea is that you're kind of exploring these worlds. I mean, it's very like Human Revolution. You're breaking into these corporations trying to like steal prototypes of shit to research and develop to upgrade your soldiers. You're stealing money, like you straight up rob banks in this game. You're short on cash, go rob a goddamn bank because that'll give you the money you need to buy equipment, to research stuff, because R&D is very expensive. The other thing is you can attach siphons to like ATMs around the world. So like every second right now I'm getting like about $6.50.
That's like identity theft, and that's a real world thing, and that's bad.
Sure, but I mean you don't give a shit. I mean you could also hijack into
Before that, he said rob a bank.
yeah.
That's okay.
You can hijack.
That's hurting the bank, not the people.
You can hide.
Robin.
So I'm breaking into a corporate owned area. It's a restricted area. There's guards walking around. If I get spotted, I get you know. I mean this is a stealth game.
Yeah.
There's cameras. There's alarms. There's guards that spot you. They'll call for backup. You want to try to take them out or incapacitate them before they call for backup because reinforcements will come in. Again, think Deus Ex Human Revolution, but an RTS with 4 Jensens. That is very much this game. What's up, Nick?
His wristband's
Okay,
invisible.
god damn it.
Sorry.
So the other thing is there's also civilian area. I mean there's a city and you're walking around, there's citizens walking around. You can hijack a civilian, hijack a brain, use them as a distraction, or you can send them back to your base or whatever because your dudes are basically like clones. I mean, how do I say this? When you die in battle, that's okay because they'll just send another clone of you. In fact, you can even research and get an upgrade called like the FRED, the Fred or whatever, which will drop like a drop pod, a clone of your dude who just died onto the battlefield.
That is existentially horrifying.
Yeah, it is. It's absolutely horrifying, but it's fucking cool. So, like I said, it plays like an RTS, but it's like a stealth game. In fact, a lot of what you would how you would describe this, like the new Metal Gear game, is kind of like, it's very much like this too. Like this is an open world game where you have a lot of freedom to not just how you approach like a particular base you're breaking into, but kind of the order at which you even do stuff. Like, has anybody here played Freedom Fighters?
Nope.
I have not, no.
Okay. So there are different like facilities, like places around the world that in that any given district that you're in that you could like break into and rob or like shake down or like whatever to make your lives a little bit easier. Like if you break into the security station, you can make it so all the cameras in that entire district move at like half speed. Or you could break into like a police station and make it to where like the guard response time when they're calling for reinforcements is like half as long. So it's easier to take
Twice
out
as long?
Twice as long.
Yeah, but I say half as long is bad.
Yeah. But what makes this game really fucking cool is I feel like you have so many options because all of your dudes are very different. They all have their own really cool, fun, unique skills, and breaking into these bases is so fun. It's fun not just because you have these abilities, but because you have, like at the beginning of this game, it's very hard. You run into a base, you fuck it up. Like you get spotted by a camera, a guard sees you hacking this thing when you thought they weren't, and shit goes wrong, and you just run the fuck out of there because you're like, there's no way I'm gonna be able to fight these dudes off. They're gonna call for reinforcements. I'm not prepared. I'm not good enough at this game. So there's a lot of running in, just like, you have this well-laid plan, it all goes to shit, and you just run the fuck out of there because you can't handle it, right? But through all these crazy fucking upgrades, and you learn how to play, you learn, I'm going to send in my infiltrator now because he can cloak. I'm going to position him on the top of this building so he can snipe. He's going to snipe all the cameras in the area. He's going to take this zip line down. He's going to hack this thing because I researched this proxy hacker thing, and now basically he can hack. My hacker can use my infiltrator remotely to hack panels that he can't actually get into because he's not an infiltrator.
That's kind of a spoiler for the game, Brad.
It's not a spoiler.
Damn you,
but
Brad.
what I'm saying is at first I would just kind of move 4 dudes together trying to sneak them around, and I started to realize, like, if I break these dudes up, not only is it easier to kind of like run from a dude if I get spotted, but it's just it's easier to kind of set up these various like opportunities of attack or whatever, which is what makes this really cool. Like even though this is an isometric game, there's actually a lot of like verticality to the world. There's different levels and stuff, and kind of like putting your sniper up in a perch like on top of a building is actually really useful. And one of the things that has been so satisfying about this game is not just that it's it's addictive because you're getting all these abilities and augments and researching weapons and shit, and it's so cool. And my hacker has these drones he has 3 drones that he controls, and they're invisible and they have shields, and it's just fucking cool. But it's that moment when you realize before, when you would go and you would fuck up a plan and you would run your ass off because you couldn't handle it, now you have the ability to kind of, I'm going to fight back. And I don't care if they call for reinforcements because I've got this shit. It's like in Deus Ex Human Revolution where you start off as a frail dude, but by the end of the game, Jensen's like a complete fucking badass and he's typhooning the fuck out of shit. Typhoon. Like I have 4 Adam Jensens now. And it feels so satisfying.
It's so sneaky the way he punches through walls.
The unfortunate part here, like I have upgraded my infiltrator, and now she has this katana that does like insane damage. So even though she's really squishy, I can have my soldier use his draw fire ability to kind of like lure enemy fire away from my infiltrator and like slip her like into the middle of battle and just have her like shink, just like use her sword to take out the most like dangerous unit from behind or whatever. And there's so many cool little fucking things that I can't. It's just so addictive, and it's open, and you can kind of approach it how you want, and you feel like when I rob a bank in this game, you get like 100 times as much money as you may have had like before you robbed that bank.
So
it's you get
times.
Yeah, you get an insane amount of money to the point where it feels like
like
You should be doing
I
it.
shouldn't have been able to do that, right? Because there's no way I can have this much money. But like Nolan was saying with Metal Gear, you know, you might seem like you have a lot of money,
So much
but there's
money.
so much stuff you can research. You could buy stuff off the black market, like new fucking legs for your dudes. You know, it's
Oh, right,
crazy.
They're cyborgs. So
Yeah.
they can
Yes.
just swap that stuff out.
Yeah.
I'm a little unclear on one thing, and you probably explained it and I just missed it. But you said this is open world, right?
Yes.
As in, like, these facilities are all just in a giant, like,
Yeah.
persistent
The
open
only thing keeping you
city.
Yeah. The
And
only
you're
thing
just-
from you keeping you going to like the biggest fucking headquarters of like the shittiest corporation is like they have just
Lots of dudes.
lots of shit.
So you're just not ready.
Yeah, and even you're just not ready, and that's something cool that it's there,
How?
but it's like forbidden because there's no way. But maybe, just maybe, if I throw enough grenades, and like I might have everybody shooting at me, but if I run as fast as I can, I might be able to get into this vault, rob this goddamn bank, and run away fast enough to where I can survive. And it like it feels like you broke the game, but it's designed around that, and it's smart. It's cool.
How big is the world?
Well, it's hard to describe. So it is separated into districts, but those districts are all part of the same world. Like once you access like a relay beacon, you can travel like fast travel around like anywhere
So
you
there's
want.
like a fast travel system too.
There's a fast travel system. It's not a huge world, but the only thing keeping you from getting to these other districts are that there's like these ridiculous checkpoints that have like automated turrets and
It's
you-
not
and
like
you
it's not
take,
like an invisible wall
Yeah.
keeping you from going there. It's just like the curve of your ability as a.
I mean,
as a
and you
character.
have options. Like the thing is, there's like a quest to get like a pass that gets you into the next district, and it might be a hard like set of things to do to be able to get that pass. Or you could straight up buy the pass. Like if you've robbed a bank and you have a lot of money, you've siphoned up ATMs, you could just buy the pass into the next district. Or if you are good, you can go in guns a-blazing. You know what? Everybody on this checkpoint to this next part of the district is gonna die, and I'm gonna just brute force my way in. And I did that earlier today, like right before the podcast, because I wanted to get to this new area, and I'm like, I can't afford the pass. I don't have time to do this series of like little quests or whatever. So I just shot my way through, and it was hard, and I finally did it. It involved me mind controlling a citizen to run in there like a crazy person to shoot out the cameras, and she immediately got gunned down. But I didn't want that to happen to my people.
That's nice of
so,
you.
So I was kind of just waiting off
Despite the
watching.
fact
It's
that
like,
your people can be replaced with clones immediately, and
Yes.
that person's
well,
just dead.
it costs money, and the thing is,
When did you become such a monster, Brad?
Right?
it costs money to respawn like that. But the other thing is, like these clone bodies that you kind of like hijack, that you're actually using these bodies as your kind of like your characters that you're playing as, and each time you die, their stats degrade a little bit. And if they get too low,
like clones of clones of clones.
So it's
Clones of
it's
clones of
like
clones.
FTL.
yeah, like an FTL. But you could always go try to clone a new body and just use that body if you want. But you can't do that in the middle of a mission. So, or actually, you can just hijack a guard if you want to help you out. But yeah, it's so many options, so many upgrades. It's just so fucking addictive that I've been constantly thinking about this game like while I'm at work, and it's kind of keeping me from playing Metal Gear. And it's that combined with the fact that like Metal Gear starts with that really long prologue, and it's not like gameplay focused. I'm not addicted to Metal Gear yet because I've not gotten that far enough into it.
You should probably try and get there then.
But I mean, that thing is, I know I will, and I'm kind of riding the high of Satellite Rain, playing as much off the feet as I can because it's one of those little people games where unless you played the game or you're really
That's the politically
invested,
correct term.
unless you're really invested to what I'm playing, you can't just casually stroll into the feed and know what the fuck is going on in this game because everything's tiny. I mean, it's like indecipherable to viewers. So I feel bad that I'm so into a game that's not fun for people to watch, but I can't stress enough that this is a really good game. The bummer is, I don't think it's selling that well because I'm hungry for info. Like there's so like, am I going to use a plasma weapon? Am I going to use a laser weapon? Am I going to use the shotgun? I want to find out what people think is good because you have so many
But you're having trouble
options. Like,
finding those people?
what should I be researching? What should I be equipping? But there's not a lot of people out there talking about this game because you know what? You don't release
probably
Satellite
'cause
Rain in the fall. That's not.
Yeah.
And it's probably
If it came out in June, people would be talking about it. You know, if it came out earlier in the year, like Pillars of Eternity, people would be talking about it.
Where were you when we needed you, Satellite Rain? Nobody needs you now.
Not just that, but it came out a week after Shadowrun, which is another cyberpunk old school throwback style game.
I thought they were the same thing.
It is all story driven, but it already has more buzz because there's been 2 other critically acclaimed Shadowrun games, part of the a successful Kickstarter. Like the Shadowrun Kickstarter was a pretty high profile Kickstarter.
Think that this is a better game than Shadowrun?
If you want a cyberpunk game that's all story and characters and talking to people, play Shadowrun. Mm-hmm. If you want a cyberpunk setting game that is like an open world Deus Ex, that like, do you like XCOM?
Yes.
Like do you not care that XCOM has no story?
Right.
That it's all
Pure gameplay.
It's all metagame. It's all just tough decisions. Then you might like something like this. But it is real time, and you can't pause and issue commands.
That sucks.
It is RTS style. But I have maxed the level of my support has a skill called Team Stims, and I pushed it to max level. And what it is it's like a global slow-mo. So I've leveled it so high that everything, like the speed of the game slows down to like 10%. And I issue my, like I slow the world down. I issue my commands and I pop back out of it. Because since I leveled it up so much, it's so slow that
it gives you enough time to just.
It gives you enough time to issue commands, but since I leveled up so much, it takes too long to get through a firefight, so I can't stay in that mode. Even though you have like increased accuracy and speed while it's on, I just have to pop back out of it because it's too slow.
Yeah.
This game's a little rough around the edges here and there. You might see some AI issues. You might see a guard like running into a wall or something occasionally. But, like, it's got great fucking music. It's got this great fucking atmosphere. Just like something like Deus Ex does. Like when you get into a fight, the music that starts playing is so good. And it's hard to tell because everything's small here. But it's actually a really nice-looking cyberpunk setting game. And, if that's the setting you're looking for, if you like something that's very XCOM-y in terms of, those types of upgrades, you get to choose the color like neon lighting that's the trim on all your soldiers.
Yeah.
Cool. Which is fucking cool. I went with neon pink because I only clone females. So my entire
and
party
obviously all females love pink. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brad.
No. They're
Enough
not
of
pink
that.
because they're females. I'm just saying, like, when I'm hijacking people's bodies to use for my soldiers, I only ever do female. But I actually heard on a message board somebody else complaining about that because they do the same thing, but there's like a commander unit that if you have max level hijacking, you can clone their body, which has like crazy stats, but they're only dudes.
So that's fucked.
So I'm not going to be able to clone this commander because I refuse to use males.
Why do you refuse to use males?
Because
Brad?
cybernetic ladies are just cooler. I own the game Cygirls.
But there's a difference between
So
wanting
all of your characters were actually like NPCs in the world that you
Brad,
captured?
there's a difference between maximizing maximizing the number of females on your team and just completely being against using men on your team.
Yeah. Sounds like a real taco fest.
What?
Sorry. I regret saying that.
God damn it, Krispy.
Ladies are cooler than dudes. I don't know. But yeah, Satellite Rain, highly recommended if to people that like maybe some of the stuff I was talking about. I recommend. I'm encouraging people in the community to pick it up. I don't think these guys will. Maybe they will. Maybe they'll play.
What does that mean? What does that
I would
mean?
if I had a working computer.
Maybe if we linked our Steam accounts, maybe somebody will try it. But I need people in
Maybe
the
I would
community
if I wasn't a
dive into
meth
this
head.
game. I need people in this community to do a deep dive into this game because I need somebody to talk to about it. I need to be able to go on Twitter and say, like, hey, should I get this shotgun? And people say, oh, I tried the shotgun. It's not that great. But those people don't exist. It's a bummer. I know Soul Glove has it. He's played like 3 hours of it.
Brad's like, I'm the only
I
review
messaged him today
Steam.
on Steam and I was like, you need to play more of this game because I need a Satellite Rain friend.
Is it Rain like RAIN or REIGN?
REIGN. Satellite Rain.
Rain, like
Like
Rain
Anarchy.
of the Satellite.
Take down the corporations.
Like Anarchy Reigns.
Yes.
Yeah.
The other game with Reigns in the title.
It's like
doesn't
Mr.
sell
Robot,
very well.
but in the future.
All right. Well, we need to take a break. And when we come back, we have a couple more games. I'll briefly bring up Until Dawn, because I am still playing that. And we're going to talk about Lara Croft. Lara Croft Go.
Lara.
No,
Lara.
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 Lara?
Croft.
Lara.
Lara.
Croft.
Lara.
Lara.
Croft.
Lara Croft.
Lara.
We're going to talk about Lara Croft. Sorry.
Croft?
I said it again. Lara Croft Go.
Our crowd.
Anyways, stick with us, guys. During the break, you'll hear we'll be recording the weekly bump spot. We'll talk about a few things, and when we come back, we'll do those last two impression segments, and then we'll move on to community. So stick with us. Don't go anywhere. Hey, Krispy.
Hey, what's up, Nick?
Not much. Do you know what time it is?
Is it time for the bump spot?
It is time for the bump spot.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna read these. You're gonna follow my lead, and you're gonna make funny jokes because that's what you do.
I'm with you.
All right. Patreon.
What's a Patreon?
Haha! Good job, Krispy.
Got it.
Patreon. We have new Patreon tiers coming.
Ooh.
In the next week, we are back from PAX, so I think we've finally hammered out exactly how we want to do it. All that's left is to do it and launch it, and I think we're going to be doing that.
Can I add a note?
Yes, Nolan.
I'm here. I was talking to some community members, and there was some confusion on that.
Yes.
We don't have new tiers. We're upgrading the tiers we have.
Yes.
We're expanding the tiers we have.
We are expanding the tiers, and we're massaging the tiers that we have, right?
Yeah.
fine-tuning.
We're fine-tuning the tiers that we
Injecting
have.
new content.
Yes. And I think it will benefit everybody. So look forward to that. I already have it hammered out. We just got to do a few things on the site to get that launch, and then we will do it. In fact, we may do it because it's already Friday. Today is Friday. We're recording this right. Should have it ready by Tuesday. Don't hold me to that.
It is coming.
It is coming. It is coming down the pipes. Oh God. Help wanted.
Oh,
We need help.
yeah.
We need help. And actually, if you go to 4playernetwork.com,
So much help. But I mean, you can also help us with the website too.
if you go to 4playernetwork.com and you click on the link at the bottom of the page, it says Help Wanted. You will see. Actually, by the time you're hearing this, there'll be a message at the top of the page you can click. There'll be a posting. We need some help. We're looking for some new people to help us highlight clips. We have a team of really reliable, awesome people highlighting stuff.
They do a great job.
They do a great job.
They need some backup.
They need some backup. So if you watch the feed religiously or semi-religiously, and you think you'd be great at helping us find great moments to highlight and upload to YouTube, please let us know. You can find all the details on the site. There's also we are looking for a graphic production assistant. I do most of the graphic stuff on the site. I'm not really a graphic designer, so anyone out there who has graphic design,
I'll be your assistant, Nick.
Oh, hey, Brad's here too.
Yeah.
Hey.
That was creepy. If anybody out there has any experience with graphic design or Adobe Creative Suite, whatever, and they have some extra time on their hands and would like to help me out with producing banners and thumbnails and production,
All sorts
shit.
of fancy whatsits that we use for the videos and the podcasts.
Exactly. You can find out more about what I'm actually looking for by going to the site, clicking on the Help One link at the bottom. That'd be great. Also, 2 upcoming events next week, next Tuesday, in place of the podcast.
Ooh.
It's time for board game night.
Yeah.
Board game night.
Another
That's-
board game
That's
night.
September 8th. We'll, in place of the podcast in the evening, we'll be gathering together and playing some board games on the feed. So, of course, you can find that at 4pp.tv next Tuesday night. On the 13th, we did push it back a day. The 13th, which is Sunday, is our next mini Project M, and it's going to be you, Krispy.
Yeah.
You ready?
I am not ready at all, but we'll see what happens.
It's going to be Krispy versus Nolan. They're going to be racing through Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes
Yes, the GameCube remake of the original Metal Gear Solid.
that not many people have played.
Yes,
So,
including myself.
Should be interesting. Tune in for that. We haven't set an exact starting time for that yet. We're still waiting for schedules to fall into place.
It'll probably be earlier in the day, though, being a Project M.
Yes. Start earlier, and obviously that means we'll be racing, quote unquote, from beginning to end through a game. It's all in good fun, so tune in. Nolan and Krispy will be doing that. It's going to be taking advantage of, obviously, our dual stream setup. So if you want to watch both of them stream at once, you can watch us on 4pp.tv, and you'll see both streams simultaneously.
Watch it in theater mode.
Watch it in theater mode. That's the best way to do it. Last but not least, Rainbow Six Siege has a beta starting on September 24th. And we went to PAX last weekend, and
We got a couple codes.
courtesy of some fine people at Ubisoft, we got our hands on a shit ton of beta codes.
Just a few. Just a couple.
Just a few. But we'll be handing those beta codes out as part of a giveaway. We'll be doing that across the feed. It will probably be tying part of that into a community night that we'll be organizing probably featuring Rainbow Six Vegas.
Yeah.
Or Vegas 2.
Would
Maybe
make
do-
sense.
That would make sense. Maybe we'll be doing some terrorist hunt. Anyways, we'll also be giving away some codes.
Got on some Terrys.
Yep.
Exactly, Brad. That's the point. And we'll probably be giving away some codes on Twitter, maybe in the forums. We'll be kind of spreading them out across all of our channels there. But
Just pay attention because there are plenty of opportunities to get one of these codes. We actually got a crap ton of them.
a lot. So we'll be giving away a bunch of Rainbow Six Siege beta codes soon. And we'll be posting on the site with details as to how we're going to be doing that. So, of course, check back often at 4playernetwork.com for all the deets. We'll also post on Twitter when that information is up and ready for your viewing pleasure. And I think it's time to go back to the podcast. You ready, Crispy?
I'm ready. Let's get back to it.
Let's do it. Goodbye.
Bye.
So I feel really weird about my relationships in Until Dawn because the character who I hate the most and the one who I actually kind of actively want to die her name is Emily.
Everyone hates Emily except me.
Yeah, Emily really sucks.
It just feels weird. I'm just like, God, Emily's such a bitch. I hope Emily dies. I'm just like,
I like Emily because there's some horrible shit happening in Until Dawn, and everyone just seems like kind of A-okay with it. Emily's the only one who keeps it real. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Yeah, I don't know anything about
I'd be a bitch too.
I don't know anything about Emily, but it sounds like she's getting a bad rap.
I'm just saying, like, I mean,
Chris Davis, don't you dare. Damn.
everyone has the right to be bitchy in that situation.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I mean, there's a horrible murderer going around.
I mean,
murdering
it's
people.
realistic.
I could understand that putting you on edge.
Wait,
a
what
little.
makes her bitchy? I've only played a
She-
little bit of the game.
She-
Oh, no, I can fucking explain it because I like Emily in this game, and I gave an example.
Okay.
There was a part, and I was like, and I was playing with Malia, and Malia's like, "Well, she's a bitch." I'm like, "No, you'd be just like Emily in the situation." And she's like, "What?" But I explained it, and she was like, "Yeah, I guess you're right." It was the part when, it's the part from E3, when Matt is she's dangling from this.
Well,
fucking,
when I played at E3, she was by herself.
I know. Okay. So she's dangling from this fucking flaming tower that's hanging off the edge, and her boyfriend Matt is standing there going like, "Oh, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do?" She's like, "Hurry the fuck and get me! I'm dangling," and he's like, "Oh, I gotta figure it out." And he's like looking at little like, should I do this or should I do this? And she's like, "Dude, I'm hanging here." And like your response is like, "Shut up, stop being a bitch." But like in that situation, it is totally cool that she is not cool with the fact that her boyfriend is going, "Yeah, what should I do?" Because she's dangling and you reach down and you pull her up.
Sure.
That's what you do.
Brad, but she was a bitch way before.
It doesn't matter. She was a bitch to the other girl who was dating the dude she used to date. That's just realistic too.
So she obviously deserves to
a-
die for that.
No.
That's what people are treating it like.
I saved her life last night. You can ask people in chat. I saved her life last night, even though she's really a bitch.
Which one's Emily?
She's the
The one that from the show that you liked with the boobs.
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Wait, which one? That didn't help me.
Anyways, I just want to talk briefly about Until Dawn because I am playing that right now. And last night I played for a good 3 or so hours. What?
So no one's gonna answer my question.
What was your question?
What show?
Shameless.
No one watches that
That's
show.
not gonna help you.
No, it doesn't. I've never
See?
seen Shameless.
She's the vaguely Asian one.
The vaguely.
I think she's part Asian. I'm not sure.
She's like half.
It's hard to tell in the game. Like I think there's like the girls from the beginning are Hispanic.
Dude, the first thing she does in this game is lie to her boyfriend and tell him to carry her shit up to the cabin while she sneaks off to make out with her ex-boyfriend.
No, they never made out. It looked like they were just having we used to date each other. We're going to spend the week together. Let's have a little fucking chat about how this is going to play out. Talk. There was no kissing. There was no fucking. They were talking, which is what grown-ups do when they've been in relationships previously.
Yeah.
Okay.
Emily's great.
Yeah.
Best character of the year.
What?
All right, maybe not.
That's going a little far. Anyway, did you enjoy your time with the game?
I did. It's a cool game. It's a little out there. Gets a
Did
little
you-
David Cagey at the end, but it's
the
cool.
story.
Yeah.
He finished the game. And I'll be, by the way, I
Horribly.
will be finishing the game if you're watching live, I'll be finishing the game tomorrow. It's Saturday. I'll be starting around 5 o'clock, and I'll be playing until I finish it, leading into Brad's Metal Gear Solid 5 broadcast, right?
Yes. Also, I want you to know that everybody can die in this game, and everybody can live in
By
this
the
game.
way, one of the characters, a character last. Okay, so I made a decision last night, so here's the thing. First of all, I love the fact that the story can diverge so dramatically from one game to another, and it's really unpredictable that way. And it's so unpredictable to the point that certain decisions you make, you just have no real way of knowing what kind of impact it's gonna have. Like, they really kind of embrace the whole butterfly effect concept, because like I literally had a decision to either jump or shimmy. And
Those don't make any sense.
the thing is, the shimmying, like, so I could either try and jump across a ledge, which is fast, or I could be a little bit safer and I could shimmy across a ledge, like shimmy, right? And that made the difference of like 30 seconds or so, which basically implied that I was too slow and I got there not fast enough.
Oh,
and
really?
Jessica died.
Oh,
Spoilers.
No,
Yeah.
no,
Dude,
no, no.
there's
Jessica
Everybody
dies?
dies. No, no.
Now I'm not gonna get attached to her.
Right?
She that happened to me too, but I was picking all the risky ones. But I fucked up one
But
prompt.
the thing is, Jessica can die in
Everyone
a
can
number
die.
of different ways.
Literally everyone
based
can
on
die.
a number of different decisions you can make.
I
So
am too used to playing Telltale games where they're honestly pretty forgiving with their prompts. I think if I play this game, it's just gonna get all
And
fucked up.
Cleft in
Everyone's
chat-
gonna die.
Cleft in chat, this is interesting. So he beat the game 5 times already. He never once got bored because of how the story changes up in
5
small and big
times.
ways.
It's hard to believe.
That's that's cool. Like, the replayability, it seems really, really interesting.
So you're talking about that scene where you were playing as Mike, right?
Yes.
And you were running to save Jessica. The thing is, like I did all like the riskier ones, and I guess you do more prompts
I
or like
played
quicker prompts. Dude, my bravery meter maxed out.
Nice.
After that, I don't know what that means. I don't think it means anything. But it was really satisfying
thing
to
is,
see that my brave
I
meter was
actually meant
maxed
to bring
out.
this up on the last show where I talked about it, because that was one of the first things I noticed about the game that I really liked, and it was it doesn't really have any major impact on like the mechanics of the game as far as I can tell, but I can have small impacts on the way the story unfolds, and it's like decisions you make, like every time you pause the game, whatever character you're playing as is on the main menu.
Yeah.
And when you open the main menu, it'll show their face, it have their name, and then it has a whole bunch of stats and then a bunch of bars measuring their
Like
the
relationships
relationship
and-
with all of their characters. And every time you press start, it looks back at every decision you've made since the last time you pressed start, and it will adjust those meters accordingly. So if you did something that was brave and Jessica really appreciated it, her meter will go up. If you pissed off Emily, her meter goes down. Like, and it's just, you can kind of.
But if you made a joke in the process, your funny meter goes up. No joke. There's a funny meter.
Yeah, so you can kind of see. I mean, it's really more of just kind of.
It means nothing.
It means nothing, but it
cool.
also is cool. Like, I don't know how to explain it. It's cool to see, and you can kind of you can pause the game at any time and see kind of where your character stands in the story.
Like it kind of teaches you how to get along with college age kids.
Or high school age kids.
Are they supposed to be high
man.
school?
Dude,
I don't know.
Yeah,
All I know is they
Jessica
all
girl.
look 35, but
Yeah, that Jessica girl looks pretty rough for high school.
The meth got to her early.
But,
there's all kinds of behind the scenes videos and stuff that you unlock as you play the game, and everyone looks way better in real life,
well, of course.
except the dude from Mr. Robot. He looks weirder in real life. That guy,
Which is crazy because
Yeah.
he looks weird
He looks
shit in the
weird.
game too.
oh, he looks way weirder
Is
in
he a
Mr.
robot?
Robot.
Yeah. He's a robot.
Not a robot.
But
Technically an android.
also, I'm really enjoying the totem system in the game. You
So does that get more in depth or like?
Yeah, I mean, it's more of, so there's 5 different kinds of totems, and you can find them littered throughout the environment. You pick one up, and it might warn you of a possible death, but it literally only shows you like 3 seconds of this. Not enough to really tell you anything, but it kind of just paints a picture of an environment, what's around the person, and how they might die. Like, it might show them like in a room, and all of a sudden fire just engulfs them, and you're like, oh shit. And then all of a sudden later, you end up in that room, and you're like, okay,
Yeah.
And
Something
you try to avoid that death,
But
but
you end
what
up
you
going
do
into
to
it,
avoid
yeah.
it actually causes it to happen.
It could. It could.
Also,
And that's cool.
it all depends on kind of how you read the totems.
It's a
as well.
predestination paradox.
Yeah, the fucking. Remember when I pissed off nature and I hit that bird with the rock?
Yeah.
That's because like I saw a totem and it just showed up. It showed her hiding behind a tree and there was a bird sitting on a picnic table. And then all of a sudden that scene came along and they were playing snowball
Don't
fight.
ever attack nature
And I had a
in this
snowball
game.
in my hand and I was like, was it telling me to hit the bird?
Don't
So I
ever,
hit the
ever,
bird.
ever attack nature in this game.
Is it like the movie The Happening? Is it nature?
No, I just
there
know
it
like
is.
bad stuff happens. But it's... I forgot what I was going to say. Whatever.
It's just really cool. Like it's really cool to
It's
pick
cool.
up a totem and then later
Oh,
on.
yeah. But you can misinterpret them. Or
You can.
Also, this makes...
That just happened.
No, this makes zero sense. The head popped up, right?
Yeah.
But it didn't. If you go look, it's just a mask floating in the air. Look.
What?
It doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't.
When I played this in the game, I
That
was
was
like,
amazing.
huh?
That was
There's another scene where this character was looking through a little telescope and he saw a face, but he didn't say anything about it. Have you noticed that?
Dude, well, this is like
I think Mike is crazy.
Well, the thing is, it's very it's definitely like totally embracing like all the cliches of like campy slasher horror films, where it's like it's predominantly jump scares. A lot of the times, the people who see fucked up shit just brush it off like, oh, I must have been imagining that, and then they just move on when they should have been telling people what the fuck they just saw. But you know, it's kind of what makes the genre. Like, that's what gives it its personality, and they embrace that to its fullest right here, which is awesome. But the totem system is just really cool because you'll find something, you don't really know what it means, and you can interpret it correctly or you can interpret it totally wrong. But
there was
when you
one-
end up in a room that you recognize from a totem, you get this feeling like, oh shit.
that is cool.
It's
That
a
is
cool feeling.
There's one specifically where it was a pretty brutal totem, and then through the rest of the game, Leah and I were kind of looking for that room.
Did you ever find it?
Oh yeah, we did.
I found a totem after someone had already died. And like it showed them doing something, and I was like, "Well, I guess that totem is completely."
Did you get the
useless to me now.
totem where Emily gives Matt the flare gun?
Yeah.
Thought you were gonna say hand job.
Listen to that totem.
Yeah, some of them are a little.
Because I did not.
Some of them are a little more obvious than others. The thing is, when I
Matt
played it at
swallowed
E3, I found that totem, and it showed her handing the
Yeah.
flare gun to Matt. But at the very beginning of the demo, like, I made a decision, and Matt died. So she was by
Wait,
herself. She
so-
found the flare gun by herself, and I was like, "Well, I guess
So
she's
what
not
happens if you give him the flare gun?
I don't know because I didn't do
Oh,
it. And Matt,
I could tell you what happens if
Matt
you like.
ate shit. He ate a hook. He swallowed a hook.
It's
And like not in a good way.
Nope.
how is there? What is the good way of swallowing a hook?
Swallowed a giant hook.
I don't know.
I'm just. Because I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna finish this tomorrow on the feed.
Well, maybe like if you give him the flare gun, he accidentally sets it off and it hits a propane tank and he blows up. You know what I'm saying? Like that means nothing.
Causality.
I was Emily. I decided to keep the flare gun because I don't need a man shooting a flare gun for me.
And then you accidentally shot the flare gun and hit Mike in the face and he died.
Well, he died, but you know what? Or no, Matt died, but Emily survived. So, hey, who's dead in your game? Anybody yet?
2 people.
Okay.
Whom?
Do you want to say who?
Can I?
Yeah.
Can you?
Jessica and Josh.
The thing is, everybody has the
Spoilers.
most generic names. It's Matt, Jessica, Josh, Mike. Like
Ashley.
It's so hard to tell who's who at first.
But I've learned all the characters at this point.
Yeah.
I know all their
They're
faces.
good characters.
I know their names.
I don't know if I said this last week, but so this is like throwback to classic slasher teen horror, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But in those movies, they're like 90-minute movies. They're like these despicable people. And you don't really get to know them, so when they die, it's like whatever. But in this game, you realize at first they kind of seem like despicable people, but
Then you
they're
get
really
to know
just
them.
people. And the fact that you spent 8 to 10 hours with them means when they do finally die, it's like it feels
You feel
bad.
bad,
It
like-
feels bad.
Like I couldn't save them all.
like in a slasher horror film back in the day, like Mike, who is trying to get laid, looks kind of like a horny just asshole. But in this game, he's like, he's trying to play it cool. He's trying to like make all the right moves. He's kind of nervous. He's you're making a lot of those decisions for him.
By the end of the game, you'll really like Mike.
Are the deaths though like are they
do you
like
wanna
the
be
set
like Mike?
pieces that they should be?
Yeah.
Like are they like fucking
Yeah, they're good.
Some of them.
intense?
I mean, I've only seen 2 so far, but both of them were pretty fucking intense. So the thing is, also, without giving anything away about the story, which I can't really because I don't know what's happening yet, but
Oh, you're about to get
like
it's about to
this
get crazy.
game is not only is it like an homage to like slasher films, but it is like literally rolling up like slasher films like Friday the 13th into Saw, into fucking I don't know, Nightmare on Elm Street, and there's even elements of what was it? There was some like there's just like a little I was gonna say this is weird. Scooby-Doo.
Dreamcatcher.
There's like a little element of Scooby-Doo like I'm kind of picking up on.
Red Harry is killing everybody.
No, but like
I just
there
figured
are
it
things-
out like a couple weeks ago that Red Harry sounds a lot like Red Herring.
Red herring.
But when I say Scooby-Doo, like don't react or say anything, but like I'm seeing things and you're picking up clues and you're reading you're finding clues and reading about them throughout the game, but it's kind of sort of leading you towards like, is this real or is this somebody staging all of this? shit?
Ashley,
Like a
Selma,
Scooby-Doo episode.
Jessica's. Yeah, I mean,
Is there a Fred character who's
Mike,
like,
he's the
hey
Fred
gang,
character.
let's build a trap to catch the ghost? Like,
No, that it's borrowing very
there are some pretty stupid people. Kind of
Yeah, I mean, my broadcast last night was titled "Stupid Teenagers Making Stupid Decisions."
but it's
Nice.
let's have sex without using protection.
this is cool. It's cool. It's cool. At first,
You can't get HPV when it's cold outside.
like I said, the characters really grow on you, and you get to make decisions like, oh, are you gonna like kind of awkwardly say, yeah, I'm gonna fuck, or
And you
I'll
can
be
make
like,
decisions like this in the footage where you're like, you can just decide to like scare one of the
someone.
characters because you're just a teenager and teenagers do that.
Only teenagers.
Fucking adults do that.
I do that all the time.
I think we do that.
did you
too.
you scared her into the water?
Fuck yeah, I scared her into
Dude,
the water.
I did.
Did she
I
catch
wonder if she
hypothermia?
would have maybe not died if
She
I
was
didn't do
pissed
that.
too. It's just really cool to think about you make a lot of decisions in this game, a lot. And every time you make a decision, I really get the feeling that like that
Wait,
could
you
have an
scared
impact.
her into the water, and so now she gets pneumonia and dies.
No, but she gets pissed at you, changes her attitude towards you, which could completely change like how
Could
another
change the
scene
scene.
plays out, which could lead to an entirely different separate set of, events. You never know. Or I could have decided to not scare her and just show her the mask, or completely ignore the mask entirely and just walk past it. Mm-hmm. And like
I wonder how positive you're going to be next show after
know.
you finish the game.
Ask me
Because
next week.
it gets a little out there.
Yeah, I'm sure it does. But the thing is, like, I feel like this was set up to be a little out there, unlike
See, his funny meter went up because he scared her.
yeah, but his
His
relationship-
compassionate went down.
He's so funny.
It's cool. I'm just saying it's a really interesting game. I'm really enjoying it. I'll finish it tomorrow on the feed. I'll talk about it next time and give you kind of my final impressions of it. But let's move on. We have one more game to talk about this week, and that is Lara Croft Go. We're all playing this, all 4 of us.
Yeah.
Although
We're not talking about Mad Max at all. Or
Well,
you know, we'll save it. I have Mad
save-
Max coming on GameFly.
save Mad Max. 'cause
Let's save Mad Max.
we have a lot to talk about. Trust us.
If
We
it
will.
can be saved.
We will eventually get to talk about Mad Max. But right now, let's talk about Lara Croft Go. We're all playing this. I just started it today, so I'm not very far. But I know Brad and Nolan have finished it. So Brad, why don't you take it away?
Oh, yeah, Lara Croft Go. It's the new mobile game from Square Enix Montreal, which they made Hitman Go, and they also did a Hitman
Is
Sniper.
Hitman Go also worth playing?
Absolutely.
Oh God, yeah. No, if you haven't played it, then
So that's the
please.
thing.
Well, I'm
I-
really enjoying this, so
Then you're gonna love Hitman Go.
I know we called the mobile games, but do not be deceived or do not be swayed. This is a really, really, really good puzzle game that does a really good job of capturing kind of the spirit of old Tomb Raider, which is, kind of exploration and puzzle solving. Well, it's mostly a puzzle game, but it's very smart. It's very elegant. I don't know how to describe it, but it has a lot of
love the art
style.
style.
Yeah, the art style's really
love it.
good.
It is
so good.
It is a lot like Hitman out at its base because it's turn-based, which means every time you move, everything in the environment
breath you
moves, and you're kind of moving around in like these designated spots. But
those are just playgrounds for some very elaborate puzzles. And while in Hitman, it was mostly sort of like navigating to get to your final hit, which involves like maybe taking out a lot of guards along the way, which had different like behaviors. In this game, it's mostly puzzle solving to get to your destination, but it plays very similar in that way. But I will say, I found myself getting pretty frustrated with Hitman because they're very long levels, and you could kind of see the steps ahead of you. But if you make like one bad mistake, you might be doing like a lot of turns over again. This one's a little more segmented and checkpointed to where it's a lot more forgiving.
So I wanted to say that the Hitman game, there's a lot of like, well, first of all, there's a lot of like trials in each thing. It's like, oh, get the briefcase, don't do this, finish in under this many moves. And those are the frustrating ones because like you literally, there's only one solution.
Yeah.
And if you fuck up at any point, you're done. Whereas these, they don't have those. The only thing that's in this game is find those little
artifacts.
Artifacts and stuff.
Which I gotta say, like, it seems kind of lazy compared to some of the more elaborate stuff in Hitman. Like getting the briefcase would sometimes like exponentially make a level more.
It would change
challenging.
how the level plays.
But in this game, it's literally kind of like a hidden object game where you're just trying to find the little relics in the background and you're tapping on them.
Is everybody playing this on a tablet?
I played it on my phone.
I play on my phone, which is
really?
Yeah, it's great on the phone.
Dude, it's awesome on this.
I can imagine.
But the reason I collected everything is because the rewards are pretty good. Because you get new Lara Croft outfits, and if you are a series fan like myself, there are a lot of her classic outfits that she had from the different games.
It's kind of weird, like, because obviously they've taken Tomb Raider in a little bit different direction recently. It's kind of odd that they would release this now, but in the vein of like classic Tomb Raider. Not that I don't like it. I love it that it's classic Tomb Raider. It's weird that they're at one side they're kind of relaunching Tomb Raider or positioning it in one very specific way, and then at the same time releasing a side project, which in most scenarios they would be kind of using it as like a partner, like a
I think it'd be hard to make a mobile companion that's similar to the new style of game, though.
But like even just down to like Lara Croft's design, like this is very clearly like classic Lara Croft.
Not just that, but like this is not the first Lara Croft game. Lara Croft and the Guardian of Light is a series that also has like a side series that has that same title scheme.
And I had the same kind of reaction to that. I just thought it was weird that they're doing all of this right around the same time that they were completely repositioning the franchise and changing it, but at the same time keeping it kind of the same through these smaller side games. I don't know. It's just strange. Not that I have any problem with it. I love it. I think these games are really interesting.
It's beautiful and it's so smartly designed. And you will see later in the game that you'll get to these moments where you're like, damn, this is really clever.
Fights?
Like, I don't want to spoil anything.
Yes.
Just
say yes.
I don't want to spoil it, but
and it is phenomenal.
Okay. Yes, it's phenomenal.
It is.
You will constantly be surprised by the ways they kind of layer on what you know, but at the same time introducing like new stuff. There's enemies.
It truly is well done in that it slowly adds on new mechanics.
Yeah.
But then you'll keep using those mechanics later on. But it just slow like this is just the first area, and it's super simple. It is super simple compared to like the first thing it's getting you used to is switches and then like broken tiles that you can only step on once.
Yeah.
It's teaching you those mechanics. But then as soon as you get to the next area, it just ramps it up, and every new little book just keeps adding more stuff that becomes more complicated, and the puzzles become more in depth. And like Brad was like looking at one earlier, and he was kind of like, "How do you do?" Like it's kind of like you're looking. I'm like, "What do I even do here?"
It was a very small little room with very few components, and it was just the kind of thing where it's like, it was a tricky little.
Yeah.
And when you figured it out, it was super satisfying.
Like there's times where you sit there and you look at it, you're like, I'm not going to move anything. I'm just going to look and be like, okay, I can do this, and then that's it. And you start doing it, and you're like, oh, I fucked up. That's not it at all. That's not it at all.
But the checkpointing is good. And Hitman, it was super frustrating.
Yeah, and Hitman, if you messed up, game over. You had to start the whole level over again.
Wow.
And this, there are, depending on the level, there are checkpoints. Yeah, that you once you get to a certain part, you're done. You just keep going from there, which I really like. Like the Hitman, once again, that only really affected you if you're trying to get like all of like the elements in one go.
Yeah.
Like for the most part, it was pretty easy to get by.
The The other, did you want to know like some of the, how far have you gotten?
Literally just the room after this one.
Okay, well, so there's various enemy types too that add wrinkles to them. Like there's like snakes, which if you move in front of a tile that has snakes on, will like lunge
If
over
they're
and attack
facing you, they'll attack you.
But then they'll have like spiders which move back and forth on their set path. Then they'll have like these Gila monster men, which if you're 2 spaces away and they see you, they'll like start chasing you.
They'll follow the path that you take.
And
the funny thing is,
they play into like puzzle solving where you might want to lure them into a trap to kill them, but you might want to lure them into a position where they step on a switch when you're in a position that you need to like be on a platform that moves because of that switch. It's really clever.
the funny thing is they're all completely taken out of Hitman Go.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
I'm just saying
they're
like,
used in different ways. Though.
No, to an extent, yeah, but there's a little more puzzly in this game than it was in Hitman Go. But I'm saying like the character, it's just they pretty much reskinned characters, and so that's what I'm saying.
There's
Nick,
a lot more.
If you enjoyed
Get
this,
ready because I guarantee you we're gonna get Deus Ex Go.
if you enjoyed this, Nick, you will love Hitman Go, and I will tell you, Hitman Go is like 10 times longer than this.
Okay.
It is a really, but that's also because it's much simpler. I understand it probably took them equal amounts of time to do each game, just because the art in this is so much better and it's so much smoother. And Hitman Go's, it's not animated.
It's a board game.
It's a board game, so it's just like little board game pieces moving around. Whereas this is animated, like the actual. So it's I love both games.
I would love to
for
see them
different
actually
reasons.
go back and like maybe do a Hitman Go 2, but in like the same style.
Stop it! Square Enix has too many good properties. They need to go forward. I think personally. And, I was talking to Jack about this, and he even made a big, huge post on NeoGAF that this would be the perfect way to do, like, Legacy of Kain or, like, Soul Reaver or something. Because those are very puzzly games. Not just in that you're solving actual puzzles, but all the realm shifting stuff that would kind of, like, shift the environment and how that would play into puzzle solving. How dispatching enemies use the environment. You, like, impale them or throw them into water or try to set them on fire. All of that just plays into it so well.
So Soul Reaver Go?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it would be perfect.
Dude, that'd be awesome.
But I think you're right. I think Deus Ex is what they would
Probably
do
what
next.
they're going to do next.
But Nolan, you were saying like there are less enemy types and they are kind of versions of what you saw before. But I feel like they kind of like layered it. Instead of just introducing constantly new enemy types like they did in Hitman Go, I feel like they did some smart things where instead of like introducing new enemy types, they give you like new ways to manipulate them, like with the torch, which was really smart. Where if you walk normally an enemy that would kill you if you walked in front of, if you were holding a torch, it would kind of move them back, and then that would start playing.
Like you could wave the torch at them, you're like back. Like no,
that's
it's really cool. Like just
I like
This
the
seems
mechanic
like a
they
refinement.
introduce with the spear and that stuff.
Yeah.
How that
Yeah.
changes the way you look at the puzzles. I don't know. Yeah,
there's a lot going on.
This is a lot less.
Also,
than Hitman Go.
like you're saying, it looks beautiful. The lighting in this game is fantastic. Like
God.
there's the shit going. You'll see things change in the background. You'll pull a lever and something in the background changes.
It's got a hell of a lot more animation
yeah.
than Hitman Go.
There's been a lot of really great looking games this year, but like this has a really this is. I'll be thinking about this at the end of the year when we're doing our
if you
awards.
remember, Hitman Go was my best looking game of last year when we were doing awards, because I think this studio, with their ideas and their art team, like they're secretly one of the best like small game studios out there.
And the music in this game is pretty good too.
It's fucking great. It's atmospheric as shit. And the other thing is, this studio did one other game, Hitman Sniper, which is also a mobile game, which is also like I've not played much of it, but that is also a critically acclaimed mobile game. Like Hitman Sniper is super popular.
Maybe we should try that.
So I'm saying like this is a developer to really keep your eye on, because even in the mobile space, they're proving themselves to be like quite
Innovative
and just fucking
Consistent?
good.
This is the kind of mobile game I like.
Yeah, me too.
My God, that fight at the end was so good,
Right?
dude. It
Oh
was
my
so
god!
good.
It's just get to it. I'm so fucking.
I'll be
good.
playing a lot. I'll probably be playing this a lot. Like before bed
Honestly,
and stuff.
you can probably beat it in like an hour.
No,
Hour and a half.
It's longer than that.
Really?
I mean, granted, I found all the gems and stuff, and I guess that can definitely take some extra time.
I guess. I mean, I guess it depends on how good your puzzles. Maybe 2 hours. It's really not that long. It might just like underestimating how long I spent on it.
I think you're underestimating how much you spent playing it. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
We'll see.
It's meatier than that, I think.
Okay.
I'll definitely keep playing it. I'm really enjoying it. But I think we need to
wish
talk.
there was a way we
I
could
think we
look
need
it
to
up.
move on, guys, because
Yeah.
the show's going a little long. We still have not moved out of impressions. So let's talk about the news. Who is ready with the news topic?
We can roll off of Square Enix and keep talking about it a little bit.
Okay.
Deus Ex, Mankind Divided.
Oh, you brought that up.
Augment your pre-order.
Fuck you.
augmented.
Oh my god. So, with Mankind Divided, their new spiel is they want people to pre-order the game at different tiers, and the more pre-orders they get will unlock new tiers.
So they're literally using Patreon's model for pre-order.
Or Kickstarter
Yeah,
or whatever.
Kind of, yeah.
No. It's all based on number of pre-orders.
Yeah, well, so there's different things. Yeah, number of pre-orders.
Yeah.
The more pre-orders that they get, they unlock new levels,
Right.
new tiers.
It's not like Patreon where you're paying more money for different tiers.
Okay.
It's like the more people they get to pre-order, the more tiers they unlock, and if they get all the way to the end, they release the game 4 days early.
I would say it's like Kickstarter stretch
weird.
goals.
But
it
don't
kind of
you-
works like stretch goals.
Do you get the stuff from the previous tiers though?
You do.
Okay, I was confused.
You only
Every
get to
tier they
choose
unlock-
one thing
Yeah,
from
that's-
each
that's-
tier.
that's what it was,
Yeah,
though.
everyone gets to pick one of 2 items from each tier.
So stupid.
So you
Okay, so here's my question. Everybody is up in arms about this, obviously.
yeah.
Mostly because
Because it's needlessly fussy. for
mostly
something
because
that's
they're breaking
already-
up parts of the game and giving it to people for
Yeah.
pre-ordering to make this part of the tiers, right?
Yeah.
What if this model was like different? It was like get this number. If we get this number of pre-orders, we'll just release it early, 5 days early. Like, what if that was all it was? Would that be less despicable?
Hasn't somebody done that before though? Wasn't that a thing?
Probably.
Like, I
wouldn't
remember
be
some indie
surprised.
game doing like if we got enough like early access buys,
because
we
I
would just
could see
release
that.
it early or
Everybody's
something.
problem with pre-ordering these days comes down to the fact that they're withholding content for pre-order customers.
A lot of the
They're
stuff
not just
in the
with-
tiers are so like the first tier that everyone automatically gets for like that they're already at is a set of in-game items for Adam. It's like 3 different DLC packs you can choose. I don't remember what they are though.
I don't
It's like
remember
their
either.
costumes or something
Something
like
like
that.
that.
But then like one of them's like a DVD or an art book. One of them is I think there's one that's like an extra mission. or
Yeah, there's
something
one
like
that comes with an
Yeah.
extra mission, yeah.
I don't remember what the others are.
But the final one.
The final
The final one is
4
4
days.
days early.
But see, AAA fucking big budget games don't just like, oh, it can come out early now. This game is going to be ready to come out 4 days before
Yeah.
it is originally slated.
It's just not going
They are
to.
delaying this game 4 days to do this stupid ass promotion.
yeah, pretty much.
That's true.
It's
That is true.
obnoxious.
No, it is, yeah. And it's silly, and I don't like the model. I mean, Nick, what you were saying is if we get enough pre-orders, we'll just release it early.
You
I
can't
mean, I
really do
guess
that.
that's fine. But it's just this whole kind of
But
like...
they're not the only ones doing that.
Yeah.
NBA 2K, I think, is also doing that as well. Where they're like, if you pre-order,
Augment
it,
your NBA.
but it's if you pre-order, you get to pick it up the Friday before it comes out. If you don't pre-order, it's not available to you until Tuesday or whatever. So they're not the only ones doing this kind of fuckery, but it is kind of fucky.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is lame.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Nobody does. Nobody likes it.
The tier
But
thing
the-
is kind of
the-
done on Steam with a lot of games. With
But the
like,
reaction has been
pre-orders.
almost universally negative.
No,
so
yeah, it has
Sure,
this is
because
probably the
it's-
last time. I mean,
Because it's a pre-order thing.
hopefully it'll die quickly because
all pre-order things are.
Usually negatively.
Nobody's
and,
like
yeah.
really into pre-orders.
Like the thing is, I pre-order a lot of stuff, but not because I'm interested in getting extra content. Like that's just how I like to shop. I just like to order stuff early and have it ready to go.
Yeah,
That's
no,
just-
no, and that's fine. Like
it
that
sucks.
makes sense because and the issue is a lot of stores have started like GameStops have started doing it. Well, if you didn't pre-order it, we don't have it.
Yeah. Well, actually, that used to be a much bigger problem.
It used to be bigger than it is now, but still,
I remember I used to be told to like turn people away. if
that's
they
a
didn't
shitty
pre-order.
fucking situation to be in.
Yeah, it's shitty.
And so like, there's just this whole, I know I'm gonna buy the game, so I'll pre-order it. Versus, I know I'm gonna get it, so I'll just go get it when it comes out.
Yeah.
You know, it's like it's just kind of like this. It's I understand people not wanting to be in the situation where they can't get the game when it comes out, Especially, I mean, a lot of us, we want to play it
But that situation
when it comes
that
out.
situation doesn't really exist except
If
for
I
maybe
could,
like really
if I
niche
could
titles.
play devil's advocate for a second, the inverse to the situation you're describing is that there are games like Until Dawn which did not ship very many units whatsoever.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what's going on. GameStop underordered, or the publisher did not allocate them
Well, the
enough.
publisher Sony,
so
who
what-
decided not to support
so-
a first-party game.
What has been happening? Yeah, some like fuckery like that. So what has been happening is people pre-ordered the game. If they didn't pick it up day one, GameStop corporate was going around telling them like, I don't care if you're only holding on to pre-orders. If somebody comes in for that game, sell it.
Oh, wow.
So people who did pre-order, who did put their money down, who had that guarantee, don't have that guarantee anymore.
Wow.
Because of people like you who want to walk in and buy it day one.
I don't
Because-
mind the
because back
concept of putting down money on a pre-order.
Right.
I think it's a fine concept, but it has been twisted into this horrible, gross marketing thing where, like, content that was probably just going to be in this game is ripped out, spread to all these different fucking
So
retailers.
that's what
because
I was
they
trying
want
to
this
get
money
at.
early.
But that's yes.
It's become
It-
gross.
no,
It's become a little
It's a
gross.
circular problem. That
Yeah.
it's not one thing. Pre-orders don't exist because they want to rip out content to make you do that. They do that to make you pre-order because pre-orders are the only way that they're going to make their money anymore.
Well, yes and no.
Because of retailers like GameStop even
And
existing in the first place.
they're doing it to lock in sales at their because there's so many competing retailers. They know if they get the pre-order, the person is spending the money with them and not going to Amazon.
So yeah, so that
Or
yes and
going
no,
to whatever.
because someone can always cancel their pre-order.
Yeah,
I mean it
but
doesn't totally
most
mean
people
anything.
don't.
But the like where Brad's coming from is when I was younger, yeah, I would always like pre-order games. You never got anything for it. You just
just did it because you
there would
wanted
be a
the game.
copy with your name on it when you showed up to the
Right.
store. But now
is a cool
there's
feeling.
it is. There's so many things where it's like pre-order it here and get this, and pre-order it here and get this.
Yeah.
But never the two shall meet.
Right.
You can't get
You
both.
can't
And like
get-
what the fuck is that? That
can't
it's a
get
couple
your
of bits and bytes that
Right.
you won't give me. That costs
is-
you not much, but because I have to pre-order it here to get this, and like that, it doesn't make any sense to me because like Brad was saying, when we were kids, costumes and alternate shit that was just in the game.
It is a
Well,
really
Well,
it is a
they
really
also couldn't
shitty.
withhold content back then because of the
Oh
way.
yeah, so you couldn't update it.
It's really shitty that that's where we've gotten with pre-orders, but pre-orders exist symptomatically because of the way games are sold.
And I understand that. I've worked in retail plenty. I understand that if you pre-order the game, that means we're going to have it. If you don't pre-order it, we might not have a copy for you. That's just how it works. I understand that. But what I think that the issue with that is it's just become what has a pre-order become, and this whole content and certain things and pre-order here versus here. I understand why a retailer would want you to pre-order it at their store, because if you walk into a store, you are much more likely to buy something else than if you. And
the big reason the retailer does it.
well, yeah, no, that is. I mean, that's the same thing with I work in a retail environment, and our whole thing is like when you buy something online and you pick it up in store, like 60% of the time, customers buy something else. You don't just go into like a hardware store and just pick up something you bought. You probably I could use some screws or something. So that's you push to get people into stores because that in stores that's where you have the displays where you advertise other things. Oh, here's this deal we have going on. Can I interest you in this? So I understand why.
And it also fits into the stick to the plan mentality where it's like if 3 months ago I made a plan to buy Metal Gear Solid 5,
I gotta do it
I'm
now.
more
Yeah.
likely to just go ahead and do it.
But once again, I'm just
Forget that you
frustrated.
put down $5.
Oh yeah. I'm just
Luckily
frustrated that there's all this content that I can't get unless I pre-order it here or do it then or do this. Like that doesn't make any sense to me.
I know.
I just
but
hate having to go to GameStop
It's
the
not-
day before I go pick up my game to pre-order it. I just want to go to GameStop once, not twice in a week. I had to do that with Metal Gear.
The whole system is fucking backwards. But
It is
it's
backwards.
like this vicious cycle that I don't think is gonna go away.
No, it is not.
The reason I buy at a retailer, not Amazon, is so I can walk in day one and just pick up the game and not have to wait for the mail. But no, I got to go twice. It's so stupid.
All right, let's move on. We didn't mean to digress.
Brad, you know you can pre-order online for pickup in store.
Really?
Yes, that's what I did with Metal Gear.
Yeah.
Oh, you can do that.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. But see, then you got to fight the websites and the logins. And
All right. Yeah.
There's no
Let's
making
move
Brad
on.
happy.
We've been
All
on
right.
this for a long time.
Let's move on. I don't really have a news topic per se, but I did want to talk about.
Well, I do.
Well,
My news topic is.
You don't want to hear about Scalebound?
No, I do, but I was just
Okay.
I was just sneaking in
Son
front
a
of you.
bitch.
My news topic is a short one. It is the Divinity Original Sin 2 is currently on Kickstarter. The first one was a big success, but they started to they decided to kickstart this one because they want to self-publish and all that. And it is easily hit its goal and then some. I think it's probably like 1.5 million right now.
Nice.
And but I wanted to bring it up not just because this thing is cool and exciting and I can't fucking wait, but I wanted to talk about some of the new stuff that they're doing with this game because it sounds legitimately like revolutionary. Insofar as remember in the Original Sin you could play co-op.
Yeah.
And they had this thing where you go on quests together, you each have your own dialogue, and you could even just disagree on a quest thing and kind of like debate it out. Like through rock, paper, scissors or whatever, what you're going to go with. And your own kind of like stats into that kind of thing could influence, make it easier for you. Well, in this one, it's a 4-player co-op game that you play with other people, but it has competitive questing as well. So let me give you an example.
Yeah,
It means
go on.
you could go questing with these other people, but they're not necessarily on your team. Or like
You're racing to get something done?
you racing to get something done.
Are they stealing loot from you? Or are they like
Absolutely, you can absolutely do that. And they gave some crazy examples. But like, for example, you can be racing to complete the same quest a different way. Like if I go into the Dwarven town and they ask for help and that's fine, I might go on that quest. But two other people might go into the Dwarven town, might go, fuck you, I'm gonna kill you and the person you want me to save. And now you're like competing
so
against
you're
each other
trying
on
to
a quest.
save that person
they're
before
trying
the
to
other
kill them.
players
Yes.
kill them. Just because those other players are assholes.
They even did like some really crazy shit where like they stole some shit that was like Skyrim style, had the stolen modifier, and they snuck it into their teammates' inventory. So a guard stopped them and
What
arrested
the
them
fuck?
and actually put them in jail. They did another thing where because there's dyes and stuff in Divinity Original Sin where they took a poison potion that's normally green and they dyed it red so it looked like a health potion and snuck it into their opponent's inventory and their opponent drank the potion because they thought it was a health potion.
That's so fucking cool.
I've never seen anything like this. This seems cool. You know, it's like we've always
Are
wanted
people
to.
actually gonna do this though? Like in real
I don't know. So like it's crazy. I played Divinity Original Sin by myself. It was my game of the year last year, and it really is one of the best RPGs I've played in a very long time for all kinds of different reasons. But that was completely aside from all the innovative stuff they were already trying to do with co-op in that game.
Yeah.
And it's crazy that they're making another one of these great RPGs, but they are pushing this co-op stuff even further in ways that I've never seen in an RPG before. And it sounds fucking rad. So it's no wonder that this Kickstarter is doing really well, and I can't wait to see even more of this.
Do they have a scheduled date to come out? Estimated time?
I think their estimated time is at the end of next year.
Okay.
But I can't wait. The only bummer is, I mentioned it before, is the composer for the Divinity series passed away earlier this year.
That sucks.
And like the music in Original Sin is so good. In fact, the music in all of those games is so good. So I'm wondering what they're gonna do to kind of make sure that that soundtrack is really great because
live up to his legacy.
Yeah.
yeah. Even the rough games in the series like Divinity 2, what's it called? The third person
What's
action
it
one
called?
had great fucking music.
You know.
Nick.
Well, the last thing I did at PAX, this was the day after Krispy and Chris left. Was I went to they did a panel at PAX for Scalebound.
Ooh. I think everyone's pretty
Hideki
excited
Kamiya
for
was
that
on
game.
the panel.
Oh, he was there.
He was there, answering questions.
Was he blocking people in real life?
No, There was actually a community member that found me in line, who was at the panel, and he walked up and we were talking for a bit, and he was like, I kind of wish I would gone up when they had the Q&A and been like, can you block me in person? Like, can I just follow you and have you block me on Twitter?
I wish someone would have went up and been like, can you unblock me on Twitter, please?
But yeah, so it was they showed some new footage of Scalebound, which was pretty cool.
No one's talking about this. I was hoping to see
Was
a
it-
NeoGaf thread. Maybe you should.
I mean,
start one.
is no one talking about it because they haven't seen it?
Yeah, because it's not public.
Well, yeah, that's why no one's talking
So
about
what
it. So,
was
I mean,
it, Nick? Tell us about this footage.
Tell us, Nick.
Well,
Tell
they
us.
showed the original one they had already shown, which
that long one.
yeah,
with
but they
the...
were actually playing it live. By the way.
Oh, okay.
Oh, cool.
And then they skipped ahead a little bit, and they showed they said they asked him, the most common question that we get about Scalebound is, can you fly the dragon?
Yeah.
And can you fly the dragon to
Anywhere.
other islands?
Yeah.
And it was funny because Hideki Kamiya went and was like, he talked, because he had a translator, so he talked for like 45 seconds or something like that, and then it just said yes on the screen behind him. And then it just faded in, and they were playing it, and he jumped. The character's name is Drew. Jumped on the back of his dragon.
Drew? His name is Drew.
His name is Drew.
Okay.
Climbed on,
Like druid, like he's a druid.
Okay.
Yeah.
climbed on the back of his dragon.
Druid.
Dragon started flapping his wings, floated up, and then all of a sudden, he did a little combat. He was flying around, and you were shooting, like he was shooting flame breath out, whatever. And then he just took off and started flying out towards the other island and flew up and landed on another island. What they showed was he was moving rather slowly, like he was just flapping his wings, and he was like, and then landed. But someone, when they did the Q&A, got up and asked him,
How
can he fly
flying works,
faster than that, or is that just how he flies? And he said they're still working out the.
It almost seems like Ni no Kuni. Almost when you get on your dragon, and you kind of slowly move around.
Yeah.
Obviously, this is not the same scale. Obviously, this is like the actual real
actually
world
seemed
when
a
you're
little
going
slower
around.
than that.
Really?
But
But I mean, I
when
guess
they
it
asked
might
him-
be because you said you could do like combat while you're flying,
Yes.
maybe. So maybe that's why a little slower just to make things easier. I
Sure,
guess.
but they asked him when
If
they
it
did
would
the
go
Q&A
faster.
if he can go faster, and he said they're still working on the specifics and how it's going to work, especially on the scale. But they have done tests with the dragon flying at up to 200 kilometers per hour.
Jesus.
I don't know what kind of impact that had on the frame rate or whatever, but
200
they said
kilometers in not real kilometers.
in not real kilometers.
Oh yeah.
But that was just what they said. So it
I'm
sounds
pretty
like they
excited
are-
for this game.
They are
I'm really excited
experimenting-
for the co-op.
Yeah, the co-op.
That's what I'm really excited
Sounds
for.
cool.
The fact that in the last time we saw this, they showed that there's different characters
Yeah.
and different dragons. That's what got me excited. That can I like have my own? Because it almost seemed like
They showed dragon customization.
Oh my
by the way,
God.
in this demo. Like straight up, like they had the dragon standing there and it's moving around or whatever, and you have menus, and he was cycling through menus, and he was changing like the headpiece on the dragon, the armor plating, the tail.
Can you make different types?
You can make
like a
its color.
fire
You
dragon
can
or like an
change
ice
its ice
dragon.
breath. They showed ice breath.
Oh my god, dude! I want this game.
So
That's a
and-
system seller for
So
me.
are you-
So all of the
excited,
RPG,
Nick?
it seems like all of the RPG elements and the customization is directly affecting the dragon, not Drew.
Okay.
So that seemed really cool. And they showed like 3 different versions of the dragon. You can change you can actually give the dragon like armor, like aside from just like his
Right.
armor, like his regular
Yeah.
armor plating. You can
His
give him like
scales.
Actual,
a
like-
set of armor, and you can customize the look and feel of that with specific colors and designs. And they were showing like all kinds of.
And they didn't say anything about like Drew. Like you can't customize him or like change his equipment or anything.
the
Well, I
way
think he definitely
I mean, he-
has different equipment. And
gets
stuff.
different-
I've seen that screen.
but like
Well, I mean, it's like what Nolan was saying when they showed that co-op stuff at the end of that trailer from E3. Like they showed distinctly different like player characters.
yeah.
They
And
didn't,
you can
they didn't
customize
really-
the look of your human character, and you can give him
Oh, you
different
can.
weapons and stuff.
Yeah, different weapons
like,
and stuff.
It looks like you were going into combat and getting points and stuff and rubies that you can use to upgrade your dragon.
Okay.
Like I'm assuming you'll get new weapons like in the story or whatever,
Right.
And you can equip those to Drew. But anything that you're like collecting for upgrading purposes is all being
It's for
funneled
the
into your
dragon.
dragon.
Okay. I gotcha.
So that seemed really cool.
I gotcha.
Nice.
That sounds cool.
Are you excited?
And
Did it look good?
there was a poster signing.
Was Igarashi there?
No.
Did you get
I bet he
Kamiya to sign a
was.
poster?
Yes.
Nice. What did he just write Kamiya?
They also had, they brought the voice actor for or voice actor and
Mocap.
mocap actor up for Drew,
Uh huh.
who apparently has been in some television shows that I've never watched. They had him.
Do you remember
they
his
had-
name?
I don't remember his name off the top of my head. He was in that show Revolution that played on NBC or
The one that
ABC or-
lasted like 6 episodes?
Yeah.
Yeah, and a few other things I don't remember.
Castle.
he seemed cool.
Something called Firefly. Nathan Fillion, I think his name is.
Island?
No. But yeah, he seemed cool, and they had Hideki Kamiya and The other two people I wasn't super familiar with. I'm sorry, but they were
Was,
both prominent parts of.
Was JP there?
Yes. Anyways,
Was he translating for Kamiya?
yes.
Oh, okay.
Well, no. Sorry, there was a girl there that was the translator for Kamiya, but whatever. Anyways,
Of course.
yes, it was a cool panel. I'm really glad I went. It was awesome, and the game looks great. Crispy, what do you got?
What was my news topic?
I don't know. What was it? It's like, just wait for.
My news topic.
Oh man,
Fuck, my phone's dead.
don't worry.
It was about
movies.
It was about movies.
Borderlands.
So that's what they
Mega
that's
Man.
what no Mega Man. They've said that. So basically, there's a couple high profile game series getting fast tracked for movie adaptations
Great. I can't
because
wait. people
people aren't afraid of video game movies anymore. I guess for some reason.
Why?
I mean, I guess they're doing a Mega Man one, which is still really early in talks, but.
Is it gonna be Mega Man Battle
These
Network?
things always get canceled, though.
The former creative director for Marvel Studios, Avi Arad, I believe is his last name, and Lionsgate are working on making a Borderlands movie,
What?
which
Which is exactly what I've always wanted.
is kind of like disconcerting to me.
Oh, you like that Telltale game?
I do like that Telltale game, but I mean, are we trusting that this movie adaptation is going to have the kind of writing that the Tales of the Borderland does, especially since the main Borderlands series, like the core of the source material for this movie,
Okay,
doesn't have that good of writing.
here's the reality, Crispy. You're never going to watch a Borderlands movie. It's never going to get
I
made.
might.
These video game movies get announced probably a dozen every year, and they never
Well,
ever
the
come
Assassin's
out.
Creed movies finally.
The
moving
Assassin's
forward.
Creed one is the first one ever.
We
It's
actually
super fucking rare.
we
there
actually
was
have
Mario Bros. There was Doom, and now there's Assassin's Creed.
and Resident Evil. Don't
Don't forget about the Tomb Raider
Blade. What are
movies.
the Blade something?
Blade Trinity.
No, whatever. So I was trying to look up the voice actor for Drew,
Yeah.
and I got a pop up, and it says, "Congratulations, you have won an Apple Watch. Please click any button to confirm."
Don't click any buttons.
How
to
do I get
confirm.
out? I have cancel and okay, but cancel is any button.
Okay.
Oh, if you were on Android, you could hit a back button.
I'm just gonna close that program.
Yeah, close it.
Yeah, I only went with this news story because I didn't have anything else to talk about. So
Do you think Michael Fassbender's going to be a good
It depends on how they take that.
Assassin's Creed man?
I
He-
mean,
I like Michael
you could
Fassbender,
do
so-
a lot with just Assassin's Creed lore that I think they could make a good movie.
I think it's really going to depend on the visual direction of that movie. Because
And visual direction and
it better not look boring.
The story. I mean, Michael Fassbender's a great actor.
wait,
but
they cast him to play
yeah,
Altair?
that-
is it Altair?
I don't know. It's a new
Yeah,
assassin.
it's just an assassin.
There-
Oh,
there's an
they're
actual.
making-
Yeah,
there's
they're
a-
They're
making-
going off book.
Which is good. I think if
guess.
they were
There
to
is a
fucking
promo
follow the
image.
game, it could be pretty shitty.
There is already a promotional photo of Michael Fassbender in costume.
I'm just worried because when Hollywood goes off book, it's because they're trying to hit very specific market criteria, and that is usually worse.
But Fassbender, not only is he an extremely talented actor, he's the kind of person who seems like he chooses projects that are good.
Yeah,
So
He might be doing this as part of his choice for another project.
that's true.
that's true.
Sometimes they do that.
But he's been kind of behind this thing ever since it was,
He's
hinted at
Fassbender
years
is-
ago.
Burgled in
Yeah.
chat says Fassbender is also a producer on the movie.
Oh, that's good.
So it sounds like he wanted this thing to get made.
Yeah.
Um,
Has he played Assassin's Creed?
I'm sure
he
he-
doesn't
I've-
seem like the type that
Yeah,
plays video
right.
games.
He doesn't seem like the
Does
video
he-
game type to me.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. I mean, he must. I mean,
He
if
seems
he's producing
he
it,
seems like the book in a glass of brandy
Well,
type to
He
me.
maybe-
seems like the kind of guy who might have a kid who's really into it.
Maybe
Yeah,
maybe
maybe.
he watches his kid play all the games, and then but he
Yeah.
really enjoys like the story
true.
aspect of it, which is true. That's
Maybe
why-
he does, but I do get that Viggo Mortensen vibe where Viggo Mortensen's never played a video game.
Right.
I bet.
Yeah.
Viggo Mortensen to me doesn't seem like the type who's ever seen a movie.
Yeah.
He's
Viggo Mortensen strikes me as the kind of guy who's never smiled.
he's made more
I've seen him
shoes
smile
than
and
he
shit.
has played video games.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Wait, is he a cobbler?
No,
I'm sure
Daniel
he is.
Day-Lewis is.
Yeah, that's
Of
true.
course
That's
he
true.
is.
I just kind of equate. I equate like method actors with like cobblers now.
Mm-hmm. What
They
about
do-
like
they do weird
Cooper's?
shit like that? Like maybe they have a vineyard somewhere.
I
Or maybe
could
they
I
like
could
to
see
make
Fassbender
soap.
as a Cooper. A barrel maker?
Wow.
You couldn't see Michael Fassbender like in a
Making barrels?
workshop making a barrel.
I don't know what I don't know. Maybe. You want to see a really weird Michael Fassbender movie? Look up that movie Frank.
I knew you say
Have you
that.
watched it?
It's on my queue. It's been there for a long time.
It's pretty good.
I'll get
but it's
to it.
fucked up. Like,
Yeah.
it's weird.
All right. Well, we need to move on to the community and wrap up. But since we are coming up on the second hour, I'm going to take a quick break and just pause the recording, and then we'll come right back and we'll wrap up the show. So
This is not a real break, though.
this is not a real break.
don't go anywhere.
Nobody panic. Nobody move. This is not a real break. But it is for you if you're listening at home. We'll be right back.
It's the community. Yeah, this is the best part of the show because it involves you. You're the community.
That was...
Shut up, Nick. This is time for the community.
okay.
Speaking of the community, we have no new patrons.
None.
What the fuck?
It's a sad day.
It's a sad week in Patronville.
Yep.
But once we launch the sweet new patron tiers, it'll be rad.
Upgrades to our current patron.
Sorry,
tiers.
I keep confusing people.
Yeah,
Upgrades.
where there's no new tiers. So we're not adding on like a $2,000 tier. I mean, I guess we could.
Once we
I don't
fine-tune.
I don't think anybody would actually subscribe to that one.
We're just freshening them up a little.
We're just freshening. Is that the word you want to use?
Yeah.
We're just
fluffing
We're just
them,
spritzing it a little bit.
spritzing. So I only have one patron question. That's because when I
What?
pulled the questions,
Oh, okay.
I hope
the
it's
post
a good
hadn't been
one.
up very
Well,
long.
I will have more after.
Hold on, no, I'm already on the patron page.
Who's gonna get there first?
Yeah, I was buying time with my spritzing questions. I'm not logged in.
Do we really want to give Brad a real scooter?
What?
Reborn is recommending the milestone of getting Brad a scooter.
A real
Why would we
real
get Brad a
scooter.
scooter?
The Scooter Brothers.
So he could.
No, I
scoot around
understand.
town.
I
The
don't want a
reference.
scooter.
Dude, Ruckus is a
I
really
would not. I would
popular,
not drive a scooter.
Yeah, Nick, I'm not logged in on my tablet, so you're gonna have to pull up the questions.
Okie dokie.
But while he's doing that, I can tell you that it's September now. Right? It's no longer
It is.
August, and that means we have a new supporter of the month. Yay!
Who is
it? Our new supporter of the month is Skyliner.
What?
Right?
Rigged.
We
Right?
know her.
Like when I did that, I was like, wait, really? And like I don't.
For reals?
It's happened before where like a mod or someone's won, and
Rigged.
I would feel bad if I just re-rolled the die, kind of.
Yeah, no.
Because I mean, it's not fair. I mean,
We
they're
take her
supporter.
money too.
Yeah. So Skyliner from Kansas.
Well, no. I mean, speaking of which, we last month we fucked it up where we had done it, but he forgot to Nolan had forgotten to add in the patrons, or he forgot to add in something, and the first name we pulled was MGS.
we did.
Yeah, but it was a screw up. We forgot half the supporters. It was our first draw.
I don't remember this. This didn't happen. I think Chris Davis pulled it last month.
Oh, I don't know who pulled it, but it was the month after Chai, and then we drew MGS, and we were like, oh my god. But then we realized we had only done half of our supporters, so we had to redo it anyways.
Mm-hmm.
But if it was MGS the month after Chai, people would have lost their shit.
Right?
But don't worry,
I hope
MGS,
MGS
it was
isn't
a
here to
mistake.
Yeah. You lost.
Good. He's too busy playing.
Yeah, he's
Metal
busy
Gear.
playing Metal Gear. The game she chose is we haven't decided yet.
I like how. Wait, I thought she gave us a list.
We
She
got the
did,
short
but we
list.
we haven't chosen which one we're gonna play.
I think
That's our
Do we
fault.
want to list what they are?
We can list them all.
Yeah,
if
what
you
are
want.
they?
I think
I forgot what they were.
I don't have it up in front of me. I
God
can
damn
have
it.
it in 30 seconds.
Wasn't Enslaved one of them?
Enslaved was one of them.
Journey, Enslaved, and.
Can we remember the third one?
Oh, come on, Chris Davis, don't fail me now. Journey, Enslaved.
something a little crunchy. I think.
Crunchy?
I think Journey's a little played out. Enslaved, I think,
I don't
is cool.
remember.
I mean, if one of y'all have never played Enslaved, I think that would be cool.
Never
That's a
because
game I've never played.
I
That
think
I've always meant to. And the third one is Odin Sphere.
Oh, that's one I've never
So
played, but I
Owen
own.
Sphere is a really cool game, but I kind of want to wait for the remaster before I revisit it.
That makes sense.
The HD remaster.
Wouldn't that be
was
convenient if it was
announced.
coming out this month? But
That would
That
be.
would be
not.
convenient.
I mean, I would be willing to play Enslaved because it's a game I bought because everyone told me it was good, but I never got around to
have
playing.
you ever played a Ninja Theory game?
I have, and I've played some of Enslaved. I played like an hour of it, but I don't consider that playing the game. I know it's a good game, so I mean, I would be willing to play that. But that's a conversation for a later day.
Yeah, it is.
Nick, do you have those questions pulled
I do.
up? I have the first one, so let me just go over the first one from Piosh. Sometimes video games have villains. Yeah. And sometimes those villains are pretty cool.
Sometimes.
If you could play as a villain from a video game, who would it be, and what kind of video game would it be?
Oh God, video game villain.
I would be Salmonella and Cooking Mama.
Yes.
What?
Yes.
Wait, say the question again.
If you could be a villain from in a video game, what would it be? Like who would it be, and what kind of game would it be?
Albert Wesker. I'm just kidding. I wouldn't.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Like
That just came out.
if it was a new game starring that villain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you could play as Wesker in the new fucking Resident Evil 0. It has
I
a
know.
Wesker mode. Is that what
I
you're talking
know.
about?
Yeah. I will not be playing that mode.
I would play as. Ooh, this is kind of good if you think about it.
Oh,
I'm trying to think of like a good villain.
I would want to play as the Four Kings from Dark Souls.
What?
In
You can only pick one. Crispy.
It's one villain
That's
called
one.
the Four Kings.
Oh.
And
Play Dark Souls,
I
brah.
would want the game to be
A Bukake game.
Microsoft Flight Simulator type game where I just fly airplanes.
What?
What?
Well, you're the villain flying airplanes?
Yeah, I'm like the Four Kings.
So you're
but-
like Hell's
but we're,
Angels?
like inside an
You're like the
airplane.
Blue
Is it a-
Angels?
is it a-
No, we're flying one plane.
Oh, okay.
One
That's
plane.
all four
We're
of
all
them
in
then.
one plane. like a Boeing 737. Just take it off.
Are you on one
Fly
plane, or
around.
are there is there multiple planes? Like a
If you want to be accurate,
no, like dimensions.
Oh, multiple planes.
Yeah.
Maybe, but that sounds a little silly.
Crispy. If you want to be accurate to that boss fight, it would be the Four Kings, Bukake, everything they fight. Just in a circle.
I want to play as Sin from Final Fantasy X. I'll be a giant whale.
That would not be fun.
slowly moving.
bloated.
You know what?
It would be a sequel.
Oh, you could do like a Katamari thing.
I'm just gonna say
I
the
was thinking it
thing.
would be a sequel.
I'm gonna
too.
say the thing that's everybody's thinking.
Okay.
Character action game with Sephiroth. Fuck it.
I was thinking Sephiroth, but I was thinking the Sephiroth from Kingdom Hearts.
Dude, what about a game?
Yes.
What about a Elite or what's the Sniper Elite series? A game like that, but you play as the end, but the game's only 3 minutes long because you just die of old age.
I thought you were gonna say you play as the bullet.
I want to play as Fortune from Metal Gear Solid 2 because the bullets don't hit me.
That character was such a cock tease.
I could just
Yeah,
walk.
she was.
Just walk through the battlefield and just take no damage.
Man, that's tough. I'm trying to think of a really good villain. I've gone
There's
through
been a lot
so
of
many
great villains, but not a whole lot of great villains that I would love to actually play.
Let me play as Ygraph in the story leading up to the events of Final Fantasy Tactics,
that guy.
early Death Corps to the time of when he died, and just make it another strategy RPG like Final Fantasy Tactics because we don't get enough of those of that quality.
I'd want to play as the penis monster from Silent Hill.
Dude,
Could I be like Bowser in a Red Dead Redemption game?
What?
All right, next question comes from Marcus T. Says, if you could experience only one game or its universe through true virtual reality, what game would it be and why? By true virtual reality, I mean like the Oasis
means-
in Ready Player One.
It has to be an existing
Sinrin
existing
It's a
Kagura.
game.
holodeck.
Sinrin Kagura. That's my game.
Nolan's choice wins.
All right, next question.
No, I'm gonna choose Dead or Alive Extreme Beach Volleyball.
Oh, good one.
Because it's like Samurai Kagura, but we don't have to fight. We
That's
give
true.
gifts.
You don't have to
we
fight
get
Sinrin
gifts.
Kagura.
We give gifts. We get gifts. Katamari. I want to be a random person in Katamari.
Just getting rolled up into a giant ball.
Just see the ball coming in virtual reality.
Oh man.
Catherine? No.
No,
No.
that'd be horrifying.
That's
Actually,
lame.
that would be horrifying. Oh God, man, I don't.
Yandere Simulator.
I would want to play.
Are you the
I would
girl
wanna
or
play,
a student?
I don't know.
I would honestly like. It would be really cool to fucking play PT in like true.
You would fucking shit your
that-
pants.
no,
I would
You
shit
would
my
shit
pants.
your
I
pants.
can't even
I
think
would-
about that being possible.
Right?
That's horrible.
Nick, you've read at least some of Ready Player One, right? Like you know how that
I've
the
read-
Oasis works, right?
Yeah.
Like you're there.
Yeah.
You're not, but you're there.
Hey, I'm only saying this because I know I'll never.
Okay.
That'll never
Imagine
happen.
like how much scarier Dark Souls would be in that situation.
I'd rather not.
Like, you
That's
just
true.
feel like-
Yeah.
Next question.
First person Dark Souls is Kingsfield.
This is from Equinoxinator. If you could get into a fist fight with a video game character, who would it be?
Cooking Mama.
Is this a
This is a sarcastic answer show.
Taki from Soul Calibur?
Yeah, well, yeah, we know.
Wait, it's somebody we want to get into a fight with?
Who?
A
If you
fist
could,
fight.
Is it a fist fight or can we
A fist
wrestle?
fight?
it says fist fight.
It's no wrestling fight.
This is not a wrestling fight. No, this is a
Maybe
fist
in
fight.
a little kiddie pool of KY jelly.
God. Oh my God.
I still choose Taki from Soul Calibur.
Okay.
These are weird questions, guys.
They're good questions. These are good
Good
questions.
and weird.
Hold on.
I would fight a chocobo. Fuck chocobos.
I'd get in a fist fight with Nico Bellic because I could whoop his ass.
I'm
Why would
trying.
you say that?
I don't know. This is random answer show, right?
Is it random answer show?
I don't know.
Get into a fist
Well,
fight.
while you're looking that up, Nolan,
with
I'm going to move on to the
Chico,
next question.
because fuck
Okay.
This is from Chai.
Oh, I got it.
Oh, God.
I would want to fist fight a Goomba from Mario.
Would you Google enemies with no hands?
I googled video game characters without arms.
Oh, my God.
Well, Rayman doesn't have arms.
Well, he
but
just
still
has hands.
fists.
He's just fists.
Oh, man. I want to fist fight that chick from Fallout 3 that follows you everywhere.
Who?
Follows you?
Sorry,
Moira?
Moira.
Moira Brown?
Fist
Yeah.
fight her
Fist
with
fight.
a power fist.
Yeah.
Chai asks, in Metal Gear
What?
Solid 5's honor, which device, not superpower, would you want in real life from any Metal Gear Solid? Which device, not superpower? And once again, I'm
That I
going to go.
want in real
I'm
life.
gonna go with,
Most of the superpowers are devices anyway.
Yeah.
which is why I was going to go with Fortune, because that was actually a device that created an electromagnetic field.
Metal Gear Ray?
No, dude.
That's
fucking,
a device.
Fucking Metal Gear Rex was always like the coolest in my opinion.
I want the little Mark II or whatever from.
Oh, the Mark II would be good.
That
Or
would be
even
cool.
just like the
solid eye?
Yeah. That'd be a cool one.
What is the
the
camera
Octomax.
The Phantom Cigar.
from Metal Gear Solid 4 that would make the bosses all sexy?
Just a
And-
camera. It was just a camera.
They were sexy.
Yeah.
All right.
Some of those Beauty and the Beast Corps suits were pretty cool though.
They
like
were.
like the wolf suit. That
Yeah.
was neat with the sniper rifle on it.
Yeah.
All right. We need to move on. We have a. If we didn't get to your question this week, feel free to post it next week. We'll try and get to it. But this show has gone on a little long.
I choose rations because I'm hungry. Sorry.
Nolan, why don't you lead us through supporter of the week, chatter of the week,
What's it called, Nick?
chatter of the week.
Chatter of the weekend! It's everyone's favorite part of the show. It's part of the show where we pit two chatters against each other and all out fist fight. That's it. You just fight each other. So I'm going to call you, and you're going to meet. We'll send you a plane ticket. You're going to meet in Dublin, Ireland.
No, you're gonna meet in that basketball court across from the ice cream shop in Seattle where you might get beat up.
Well, no, they're going to be fighting each other.
Oh,
You're
man.
definitely gonna get beat up then.
all the
What?
I was gonna say all the weird locations we could use if we ever made a 4-player fighting game.
Okay, so this week's first chatter is the fucking sheet's not loading.
Chatter
Wait.
of the weekend is what this is.
There it goes. All right, is Nick.
Me?
Yep, Nick. So you are going to be fighting
It's not really me.
Jack the Man 18 in chat
Jack the
Jack
Man.
Man.
Birmingham, Atlanta.
I thought it was going to be Birmingham.
Birmingham,
The British
Atlanta?
one.
His shameful secret. During the time I spent playing Resident Evil 4, I experienced a bit of a nightmare after a night of playing the game. I laid in bed, waking up from a nightmare, staring at what
Which game is this?
Resident Evil 4.
Okay.
What I thought to be a giant mutant ant on my wall. After 15 minutes, my eyes eventually adjusted to show it was just my bookshelf. Oddly enough, I was calm the whole time.
He had nightmares after Resident Evil 4, huh?
Yeah.
So
Interesting.
bookshelf looked like mutant ant.
It's like, turns out I needed glasses.
It wasn't scary. He just needed glasses.
All right, his greatest gaming achievement. As a kid, I spent a lot of time playing Mega Man Battle Network 3. Good game. After beating what I think is one of the hardest post-game experiences I've ever played, along with a lot of battleship trading with my younger brother, I was able to 100% the game. It was a big deal to me since it was my first 100% game. 100% in a game. And back then it meant a lot more because there weren't like Cheetos and shit.
That is true.
Like back then when you 100%ed a game, you did it just because you loved it. Like you didn't have anything to show for it besides a game save.
100% in Kingdom Hearts twice.
Fuck you.
I hate that game.
Wait,
Fuck
you did?
you. No, he
Yes,
didn't.
I did.
Are you fucking kidding
I'm
me?
not kidding. I couldn't even finish Kingdom Hearts 2. I hated it that much.
God, I don't understand.
But I
your hate for that
100% in
game.
Kingdom Hearts twice.
I'll be playing Kingdom Hearts very soon, by the way.
The first one?
Both of them.
Oh,
Cool.
God.
That's something I've always meant to go back and play since they re-released it, or even before they
Yeah, I got the
re-released
HD
it. But I don't
version of
have
the first one.
Those are long-ass games.
Yeah, I know, which is why I'm going to wait a little while.
Yeah. All right. Jack the Man. Why is your name Jack the Man if your name's Nick?
What?
All right.
crazy.
Top 5 games of all
That sounded
time.
like what's his face from Zelda? Tinkle, something.
Tingle?
Tingle.
Tinkle?
Tinkle?
I was like, it's just his name just completely left my brain for a second.
Tinkle, tinkle. Top 5 games of all time. Number 5. Super
Mario 64.
Metroid.
Smash Brothers.
Super Robot Tyson W.
What?
No, we weren't gonna get that.
Those games.
Number 4 game of all time is Metroid.
Other
Prime.
M?
Prime.
Why would you say that, Brad?
Prime
Metroidopolis.
2.
Some
Metroid
game I've
Prime
never
2
heard of.
Echoes.
Metroid Fusion. Good game. Number 3 game of all time, Armored.
Core 4.
Armored Core 2.
Core 4 answers.
Armored Core 4.
What?
In the
His number 2 game of all time is Tatsukono.
Wouldn't even know how to
4.
finish that.
Tatsukono 4.
No, Tatsunoko vs. Capcom.
Yeah, I think that's a typo. Tatsunoko.
Oh, this one where you can play as the Battle of the Planets characters. That shit was, I guess Gachimon.
Yeah, it's Tatsunoko,
That
right?
would be fucking.
Yeah,
this
Tatsunoko.
is Tatsukono.
Tatsunoko
Tatsunoko
versus
versus Capcom.
I was into that game for a hot week there. Like,
His number 1 game of all time is
That
Mega
game's
Man.
rare. I want to play it.
Mega Man.
Battle Network 3?
X.
Battle Network 2. I'm just kidding. It's Battle Network 3.
Aha!
He says, thanks for giving better gaming journalism than actual journalists do. Keep up the awesome work.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
great.
high
fuck those
praise.
journalists.
Thank you,
Thank
Nick,
you.
Jack.
They're not really journalists
Knack.
here, but
Yeah, and he's up against Donald
Sutherland. Sorry.
Raziel the Dark.
Wait.
Yeah, we had a Reaver Raziel. How do you say it?
Razio.
Another Raziel?
Yeah.
Razio.
It's Raziel.
Raziel the Dark from Scotland, United
If this
Kingdom.
person doesn't have Legacy of Kain games on his list, I'm going to be pissed.
Maybe he grew out of it.
His shameful secret. During the time when Mass Effect 3 came out, me and my friends would play the multiplayer often. During a fairly high level game, my internet proceeds to mess everything up and disconnect me from the game. It had done this a few times before. At this point, I proceeded to punch the Xbox and damage the disc inside, rendering it useless.
Good, you did yourself a favor.
He should have said rendering it inert. His greatest gaming achievement, being a decent fan of the older Earth Defense Force on the PS2, I found EDF 2025. When I got to the last mission as a foot soldier, I had a hard time fighting the enemies trying to find the right weapons. After around 15 retries and weapon swaps, I finally managed to blow the alien bastards away. Nice.
Interesting. The Earth Defense Force games on PS2 weren't localized, so.
His number 5 game of all time is Proto.
Type.
Oh my god.
Prototype 2?
Oh my god.
Proto Man?
Prototype.
Prototype.
Wow. That's a first. I think I've ever seen that on a top 5 list.
Probably.
I mean, I would at least go for Hulk Ultimate Destruction.
His number 4 game of all time is The Darkness.
1.
2.
1.
The Darkness. Number 3 game of all time is Dark.
Cloud 2. Dark Cloud 2.
Dark shit.
Dark, the vampire.
Dark
stealth game.
Souls.
Darksiders 2.
What?
Hey, Darksiders is a great series.
His number 2 game of all time is
Good.
Devil
May Cry.
May Cry 4.
3.
Devil
May Cry 4.
Ah.
Yes.
And his number 1 game of all time is Soul.
Reaver.
Soul
2.
Reaver.
Legacy
No,
of Kain, Soul Reaver.
Soul Reaver 1.
Soul Reaver.
Is Soul Calibur. Soul Reaver 2.
Soul Reaver 2?
Yeah.
I mean, the game sucks, but I mean, if you're into it for the story, that's the one you like.
He says, "Hey guys, sorry if the list is disappointing. Been around since the Justin TV days. Keep up."
I know.
Keep doing good.
I know that name. I'm voting for Raziel because motherfucker ain't nobody talk about Soul Reaver no more. That is sad.
I'm gonna give it to Raziel for anticipating our disappointment in his top 5 list.
I don't.
But I think he's got a good list. He had DMC 4 on there.
I don't even know.
He had Darksiders 2.
He did have Prototype.
Hey man, it's
Wait, what was the first list?
an unusual list.
The first list from Jack the Man is Super Robot Tyson W, Metroid Fusion, Armored Core 4, Tatsunoko versus Capcom, and Mega Man Battle Network 3.
That's a
Oh
good
my God,
list.
yeah, I don't even know. I'm gonna give it to Jack the Man because I actually kind of like Tatsunoko versus.
I'm giving it to Jack the Man because I love Mega Man Battle
I like
Network.
Raziel.
So that is
Soul
a tie.
Reaver.
Oh
I
god.
don't have I might have a quarter in my backpack.
I might have a coin in my pocket, but I'd probably. Oh, I do.
Really?
I have a quarter.
That'll work.
Heads or
Nice.
tails?
We'll say heads is Jack, tails is Raziel. I do have coins as well.
Heads.
Heads. So Jack the Man is the winner. Woo!
Jack the Man.
Congratulations,
AKA
Jack.
Nick.
You head punched Raziel in the head and you won. Apparently.
Head punched. Okay.
So you
I'll
are
just
the
nod.
chatter of the week. Woo! If you would like to be chatter of the week, all you got to do is go to 4playernetwork.com. Click on the right, a little ways down, you'll see a button, and it's like, "Hey, chatter of the week." And so you click on that. You fill in your information, maybe your phone number, maybe what you look like if you're pretty,
What's your
in the
sign?
face.
That's weird. That's weird.
What?
Nothing. That's just weird.
Yep, that is. And then you do all that, and you can be chatter of the week, maybe.
Yes, you can.
Yeah.
And win a cool prize eventually.
Eventually.
Maybe.
They're there. They exist.
All right. We need to wrap up very quickly because we're apparently running out of room on Chris's camera.
His film is about to run out. Apparently,
his
we
imaginary
still
film.
record on 35 millimeter.
Well, let's wrap things up with the 4-player minute, huh, Nick?
Yes, go.
My hype is for video games. I played the what?
Go, Brad.
It's for Mario Maker. It comes out next week. I can't wait. I think it looks great. I'll be playing a lot of it on the feed. My sweat is that I found out that there is a Satellite Rain book
Oh God.
that was written by the writer on Shadowrun, like the pen and paper. So that came out like before the game. So I'm gonna probably read that. I don't know. Satellite Rain is not even a story-driven game, but fuck me, right?
Rad.
What?
Nothing.
My fuck you goes to the way you control the cursor in Disgaea 5, which I guess was the problem from like Disgaea. So there's a Disgaea 5 demo you can download on PS4 now, which I'm kind of excited about this game. But like, it's a grid-based game, but it's at an angle,
Yeah. It's like isometric.
and like up is like left. I mean, like it's at an angle, so
you have to push a direction like in conjunction to how you see it on the screen.
yeah.
So
but
you're not hitting up, you're hitting like angled right.
Yeah.
no, like you hit up and it goes at an angle.
Oh,
because the grid
it's
is
not.
crooked.
Oh, yeah.
And like it breaks my fucking brain. I can't stand it. I need to go into the settings and see if there's a way to fix that. But like as of now, like I can't handle it. I'm gonna have to play the game with my body tilted. Otherwise, oh my god.
Just put some books under one side of your chair.
Yeah, and my thank you goes to all the people out there who are willing to get into Satellite Rain, to give it a shot and to play it so they can talk to me about it and tell me what all the cool skills and augments and weapons that I should be investing in are that are good, because I need somebody to talk to about this game, please.
All right.
You done?
There's usually a
you
setting
done,
in
Brad?
Disgaea to switch it, but that still doesn't solve the problem that it's at an angle.
My 4-player starts now. My hype, it's gonna be for Metal Gear Solid. That game's really fucking good, and I've really been enjoying it. I really want to know what happens at the end, just so I can avoid spoilers and stuff. So I'm excited to play that long weekend coming up. Definitely gonna play it some. My fuck you goes to Konami. For obvious reasons. Also that they give you a bonus every day you play Metal Gear Solid 5 while connected to their servers. And the past 2 days, every time I try and connect, it says server error.
Yeah, I haven't been able to
I was
connect
finally
with
able to connect today for like a minute, and then I got disconnected. But fuck you, Konami. My fuck you goes to, I forget the name, but whoever is, I'm started listening to the Witcher book, the Last Wish audiobook. And this fucking guy pronounces dandelion, like character, the bard, also a
Dandelion.
flower, pronounces his name Dandelion. And it's really pissing me off.
Dandelion.
Oh my god. And then my my other hype,
Makes me want to punch a baby.
right, goes to the University of Texas football. Woo! First game is tomorrow. I'm excited. I got season tickets this year.
Man, how much are those?
Not too bad because I'm an alumni.
Oh, I
and
see.
Yeah, they what they do is that like when you graduate, they give you like cheap tickets, and then every year they make them
They
go
make
up
them more.
a little more and a little more.
That's how
and a
they
little
get
more.
you.
Yeah. So I got them this year.
Nice.
So yeah, it's because I haven't had season tickets since my like sophomore or junior year maybe.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Which one's football again? I'm joking. How's that?
Apparently, Madden's really good this year.
Oh my god. Is that the one with the
Is it my
ball and they're kicking
Sure.
it?
Sorry,
Well, how about that Rocket League? I told you guys wouldn't be playing that shit anymore.
dude. I'm still playing Rocket League.
No, you're
I
not.
was playing it last night, bro.
shit.
I was. It's great. I love Rocket
Campbell.
League. Campbell.
Busted.
Yeah. All right. So my hype this week is for more MGS5 because it's all I've been thinking about. It's kind of starting to ruin my life, actually. I've been missing important engagements for Metal Gear Solid 5. My sweat goes to Mad Max and Witcher 3, which Witcher 3 I'll probably get back to eventually, but Mad Max, I played like 2 hours of it, and I don't know if I'm ever going to touch it again. And I probably would if it had come out a few months ago, and I could have, played it when I didn't have anything else to play. But now that Metal Gear Solid's here, by the time I'm done with that, it's going to be time for Fallout.
My god.
Why should I make time for Mad Max?
No, Fallout's not till November, right?
It's like November 10th.
But you guys got
So
two. You
it's
got
a little more than a month.
No, it's
2 months.
2 months.
It's a little more than 2 months.
It's not going to take you 2 months to beat Metal Gear Solid.
Sure, fine. But there's
XCOM's out the
something
way,
else
bro.
coming
I
out between
know.
now and then.
There's a lot of stuff coming.
there's a
out.
lot of
There's a
stuff.
lot of stuff coming out between now
October's
and
got
then.
some shit.
Soma,
Soma.
Mario Maker.
Yeah, I don't
You're finally
know.
going to play
Assassin's
Satellite
Assassin's
Rain.
Creed. if you feel
The
brave.
point of it is that Mad Max is fine, but it's not good enough to make me want to drop anything.
It's more like mediocre Max.
Mediocre.
I'll be honest, I had a real dilemma when I had.
Bill Morton joke.
Fatal Frame.
Oh yeah, that's still coming up.
By the way, I'll be honest, I had a real dilemma when I got Metal Gear and
actually
Mad
do
Max in the
wanna
mail.
yeah.
Really?
I for whatever reason, I've just been really itching to play that Mad Max game.
Dude, I'm at the point where I'm like, maybe I should take it to GameStop before the end of the month so I can get as much money as I can out of it.
You need to-
Maybe I should give up. I don't know, but
I'll give you $10.
that's That's not good enough.
Eleven.
So that was my hype. That was my
Tales of
sweat.
Crapteria.
My fuck you goes to the guy who just fucking walked in front of my camera during my Dark Souls 3 interview because he saw me sitting there interviewing the guy, and even the dude who I was interviewing, who was very nice, Mike. He was like, oh, like to this guy, and the dude just didn't even look at him, just blew right by the camera while I was doing my sign off. What a fucking tool!
How'd you sign
And-
off the video?
I don't even remember. I think it flustered me so much. I was just like, see ya. Like,
Bye.
and,
fuck
and
that
then,
guy.
And then my hype for this week goes to No Man's Sky. Nick?
All right, thank you, Crispy. My hype goes to Turok,
Oh,
Dinosaur Hunter, and Turok 2: Seeds of Evil. By the way, Turok 2 is among my favorite games of all time.
Is it?
Oh my god, I want to be there the day you play Turok 2 on the PC.
JDB.
I will finally be NTH, GTH, DGD, CRT, DTRK.
This fucking guy.
And
he,
then-
he says that. That's his O face.
And then Beware Oblivion is at hand is the code for the second one.
Why is that not
That's what he says
on?
when he's
Why was that
finishing.
not in the news?
He's like NTH, UTH.
This is big news. for you,
Yeah.
right?
I
Vinegar
thought you wanted to hear
Strokes.
me talk about Scalebound.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Anyways,
You excited?
they are getting a re-release,
I'm gonna play
a digital
Turok 2.
re-release from Night Dive Studios. They don't have a release date here in the press release. I don't know when it's coming, but they're releasing both games, and I love both those games a lot. So I'll be playing both of those again. It'll also be great because I'll be able to I'll be able to capture footage for Turok 2, which I've wanted to do for a while because I would include that in lists, but it's hard to capture footage of that game. Anyways, let's see what else I have here. My sweat is Metal Gear Solid 5. Not that I'm not enjoying it, I really am, but there's certain parts of it, just certain aspects of it, I'm sure you're aware, it may not have rubbed me the right way. I'm hoping that dissipates, and it seems like it already is, but I'm still a little worried about it. My thank you of the week goes to Capcom. I never thought I'd say that. Thank you, Capcom, for hearing my plea and deciding to release Resident Evil Remake and Resident Evil 0 on a disc together as part of a collection.
That's cool.
I'm fucking excited.
I can gamefly
I
Resident
will
Evil 0.
officially be waiting until that disc comes out to play Remake, and I'll
It's
play
like-
0 again.
If they don't put games on a disc, what is he supposed to put his dick in?
Do you know?
My fuck you of the week goes to Crispy.
Do you know
Peanut butter?
Metal Gear Solid came out on disc for PC,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and
That's usually
on the
how
disc
PC
is like an 8 megabyte Steam installer. That's it.
Oh, really?
Oh,
All that's
yes.
on the disc.
I remember.
It just installs Steam and
Wow.
is like, download it from Steam.
8 megabytes. Something like that.
My God.
Crazy.
That's amazing.
Anyways, that's all we have today, guys. I know it's been a long show, but thank you so much for sticking with us. The season is finally upon us. We have lots and lots and lots of stuff to play, and we will pretty much nonstop until the end of the year. So it's gonna be good times, good video games, bad video games. I don't know.
Good times.
We'll have a lot to talk about in the coming months. Of course, 4playernetwork.com is the website. You can watch us broadcast games every night at 4pp.tv. And as a quick reminder, next week's podcast will be delayed in favor of doing a board game night next Tuesday. So tune in for that. We'll be having fun doing board game night. And keep your eyes on 4playernetwork.com. We'll be posting more details regarding Patreon, the mini Project M that's coming up in a week or two. So a lot of stuff coming up down the pipe. 4playernetwork.com. Keep your eyes locked at that place, right?
Do it.
Yeah.
Goodbye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
It's been good talking to you. I'm getting out of here.